Welcome to our reality, everyone. I don't know why you're here, but I'm glad you are because tonight we are going to be going over not only tonight's episode of Big Brother, but a little bit of Sunday's episode of Big Brother and also just the live feed happenings this week. So, anything pretty much from Saturday on to talk about, including the veto ceremony, what led up to the veto ceremony, as we saw on tonight's episode of Big Brother as well, and just everything in between. We're going to have the help of the discussion wheel as well to help us out a little bit. If you remember Big Brother All Stars, we brought out the wheel of discussion. I should give it its own proper copyright. We'll bring it out and we'll talk about anything and everything Big Brother. We are live. The chat is open. Welcome everyone if you are here right now. My name is Barrett, and joining me, as always, so far for the Big Brother 24 coverage is the Nick City, the Zach Perez, and then also the lovely Roxy Hopman. And I just want to get a feeling out of everyone as we start this show so far. So, Nick, I'll go to you first. I feel like I go to you first all the time, but I'm going to go to you first again. Nick, how are you feeling about this week now that we're one day out from the eviction itself? And this may be a very broad question that has a lot of answers to it, but if you can just give me some general thoughts. I know we went live Saturday, and then immediately after we went live, everything just went downhill. It was already going downhill, but it was like kind of a steady pace, and then it just dropped.
It was like going like this, and then it just went and just like went right down the drain.
And here we are in the drain right now.
Yeah, we're literally in the cesspool, ladies. It has been a very hard week to watch. And I am very much ready for the week to be over, because I keep saying to myself, like, okay, once Thursday comes and goes, like, things will be different in regardless of like who stays or leaves or whatever. Like the whole dynamic of the house will be a bit different, at least I hope. So, and I'm also just very confused because we still don't know what the hell is happening tomorrow. So
we have learned nothing about Backstage Pass, and we'll talk about that later. That's one of our topics of discussion on the wheel, the aforementioned wheel. Roxy, I'm going to come to you next. Just general thoughts about this week. I can already tell that you're not too excited to talk about it.
Well, I don't feel very good tonight.
Yes.
And also the show did nothing to, like, the edited version, well, and the live feed, to do nothing to help how I feel. They make me feel worse. And I was already sick.
Yes.
And Lee, by the way, this is a different hospital band than last week. I also was at the hospital again today. Just so you know, I did take last week's hospital band off. This is not the same one.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse.
Well, I see myself on the screen. I was like, I'm wearing a hospital band again, and I hope nobody thinks it's the same one. Like, I just wear it. I don't. But anyway, listen. I'm so just over this season already. We're not even we don't even have the first eviction, and I hate everything. I hate everything that is happening. I hated the CBS edit, and I'm just like, it's gonna have to get better. It's going to have to get better. Surely, please. It's not gonna get better.
All right. Well, that's a good note to end that on. Zach, your turn. Follow that up.
Well, I think that we all just need to eat a piece of bread and then just break our mirrors and wake up.
That's how we end the simulation.
Yeah, this is how.
Oh my God, not this.
We have to make. We're asleep right now. Like, I don't know if you guys understand. Like, we need to wake up. This is all a dream. This is all a microcosm to what the real life is. So we need to wake up.
I really love that she thought that a piece of bread would do it. Trying to make the have-nots eat bread to come out of the simulation. Like, where did you get that?
Well, you gotta break the loop or whatever. You gotta do the unexpected. The unexpected.
Yeah, no one expects anyone to eat bread.
No.
Eat poop. That was unexpected.
The bread is
literally and figuratively.
It's
Paloma,
that's what they did in Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? They had to do something that was very out of the ordinary in order to jump to. I gotta watch it again. I'm sorry, but anyway, what Zach was doing there, it was kind of paraphrasing exactly what Paloma is saying on the feeds, or what she has been saying the last 2 days. And Zach's version is much less insane than what Paloma has actually been saying. But we'll get to all that as well. That's another topic on the wheel. But I do want to talk a little bit about this episode in particular, because that's going to be the main topic of discussion. It's been the main topic of discussion, whether it's on Twitter or in an EW article. It's been a little bit of talks. It's made the rounds to different news websites and everything like that, and not for the good reason. It's never for the good reason of Big Brother, I feel like.
No.
So I do want to.
Is this the earliest that it's made national news? We've had other horrible things and other horrible seasons that have made national news, but I feel like this is earlier. I mean, we haven't even had the first eviction, and it's already on national news. This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like,
I feel like it might be.
Yeah, and I know
I don't know, but
I know Paloma was talking about how they were definitely, this is going to be on the news in reference to Taylor's talk the other night, but not for the reasons she thinks. So I do want to talk about this episode and specifically how they edited the Taylor situation, because I know I have a lot of issues with it. So I want to know, everyone else, how you felt watching this edit tonight of how the Taylor situation unfolded. Roxy, you can go first.
yes. I have something to say. I have a lot of somethings to say. I'm not in the FBI. I, for a brief moment, there was one, I don't even think CBS did it on purpose. There was one moment when they were at the veto when Joseph called Taylor a fair maiden, and it showed like Paloma's face, like she did the eye roll and was like, like gross. So one moment that showed that she was a little tiny bit jealous, which I did love, but they spent the entire rest of the episode like on a narrative that does not exist. It doesn't exist. They showed her crying, like that she was upset, which broke my heart again, all over again. But as if she's upset about the potential, like going on the block situation. And that's not even why she was crying. Like they're pushing, she was crying because she overheard Paloma and her cronies talking smack about her in the other room. I like the word cronies, and all of it just gets. I mean, listen, CBS never edits anything the way that happens in the house, but I feel like because of what's going on in the house, it is imperative that they show the actual, the actual story that is happening. But they don't. They spent the entire episode perpetuating a lie. It didn't happen. So I'm pissed. That's how I feel about it. I'm pissed.
All right. Yeah, I feel the same way. Of course, they did have a narrative that played somewhat of a part in Taylor getting nominated, but what they left out was like the isolation factor, all the little. I'm glad they showed Paloma using some very harsh language when talking about Taylor, especially after we know that Paloma has created this lie, or saying that Taylor lied, essentially. I'm glad that they showed that, because it gave Paloma a little bit of a villain edit, and not just a villain edit like in a good way, a villain edit like in a, like, oh, I don't want to root for you at all way. Which I felt like was very needed, but they left out the isolation factor. They left out, the everything that had to do with everyone assuming that, oh, as soon as you put Taylor on the block, she's going to blow up. She's going to be aggressive, as Pooch called her. And so all of those little things that are pretty much the definition of microaggressions. I said little things because they literally are microaggressions. When Taylor is by far, I think, one of the calmest people in the house. And also, how would you know? You don't ever talk to her. You leave her out of every conversation, every loop in terms of game, anything like that. So the fact that they left all of that out with so much context that goes into it would make you feel so much worse for Taylor, as you should. It's a terrible situation, I think, for the first week of this game to have something like this happen, especially not too long removed from last season and how everything went there. But Nick, Zach, any extended thoughts on that?
I just love how they opened the show with the narrator being like, Paloma hated Taylor almost immediately. I thought that was so hilarious. And honestly,
but they should have added for no reason.
Well, I mean, that's what I took from it. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
like, I
know. I'm I'm just
I feel like
furious.
they are giving Paloma like a crazy person edit, which like I see people in chat saying that they feel like they're protecting Paloma with the edit, but like I have friends that don't watch the live feed at all or like keep up with any of that stuff, and they were texting me and they're like, "Yo, that girl is like really weird and crazy." So like I don't think
No,
the
I do
edit is
think
doing her
I
any
don't.
justice,
Right. I
but
don't think
I
that
do think they're
it's a
leaving out a
good
lot.
edit, but I think I I don't think it's a good edit per se,
Mm-hmm.
but it isn't real.
It's
Like
not.
they're giving her an edit to where she's a villain, air quotes for audio only people, a villain, but in a way that, some people, they love a good villain. Like we love like maybe a Dr. Will or a Dan,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they are villains. I feel like they're giving her that edit where
Yeah.
she can be the villain, but she will still have people who back her up. And that I have a
Right.
problem with, because she should have nobody that backs her up, because she is a lot of mean words that I'm not going to say right now. Ugh,
Well,
I can't stand her. I cannot stand her.
Well, I'm going to start out by saying I'm not going to say this is a good thing. I'm saying it right now. What I am saying is not a good thing, and I don't support it. But the way that CBS is doing it, I can see why they're doing it, because they're trying to dig themselves out of the hole because of bad casting decisions that they've done. The edit makes sense for the narrative that they're trying to point out, even if all of us already know that the narrative is false. And it's still crazy narrative regardless. And it's just like, I'm with Roxy. It makes me mad. It doesn't point out all the stuff that is happening. It doesn't show the gaslighting that's happening to Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
This edit was a gaslight. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say this. There was there was a certain point, and I know I retweeted Brandon on Twitter who said this edit is gaslighting me literally. But halfway through like this entire montage of the Taylor edit, it seems like, and I get why this happened. I just I like you said, Zach, I get why they had to edit it this way, because it was the only really game related reason that was somewhat like a narrative that they could try to build around.
Well, then, no,
Because everything
I
else is just
disagree.
lies that they've built around Taylor, and they can't. I don't
Right.
see how they could put that in the episode, but it's still frustrating that it has to happen this way.
No, it doesn't have to happen.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it doesn't have to happen. I get what you're saying.
Mhm.
You're saying they have to do it because even though it's a lie, that's the game. They don't have to do that. Why not just show, hey, they put her up because this girl started all of these false rumors and it has escalated, and they all just want to pretend that, like, some people are repeating lies and believing the truth, which is stupid also. But why can they not just push that as the reason she went up? Because that's the reason she went up.
Because they have
That's the game.
because they have to carry it with their stupid DRs, and they can't do that when nobody knows what's going on. Like when all these people that have built lies, they can't really ask them about that in the diary room.
And plus, with all the news that's coming out, which, CBS should come out and say, yeah, we're sorry. Again, I am with you, Roxy. I wish
No,
they
I
wouldn't
understand,
do this.
and I understand your logic. I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it
And I-
either,
and
but
I
I just
don't
understand.
either.
Yeah.
No, I know you don't like it. I'm just saying I don't agree with it. And if it were me, I'd be like, screw those diary rooms right now. I'm fixing to tell everybody exactly what happened. Or I'd spend 30 minutes saying what happened. Just
Yeah.
I hate everyone.
It just was wild to me that this entire montage of, Taylor is quote unquote lying, and everyone is having all of these DRs about how Taylor's lying. They can't believe it. There were so many of those DRs that I was like, if a casual fan just like didn't pay attention to this first part, they would think that Taylor was actually lying. I think like it was so many DRs in a row. And then finally we get a DR with Nicole who's like, I don't really know if this is the truth at all. Which she said that to Daniel later on. And Daniel was like, I don't care. She called Jasmine fat. She's got to go. And I'm like, well, that's also not true at all. So everything just
No,
surrounded.
it's not true at all. It's
It
not
was
true.
just, I hate this. And also, why are you believing Paloma? Why are you believing Paloma of all
Can
people?
I point? Are you talking about Daniel right now or Monty? Sorry.
Literally
I'm fired up.
anybody. Why are they
Okay,
believing
well,
what Paloma is
Let me
saying?
tell you something.
I mean, have you heard the things Paloma has said? Is it really
I-
out of the reach of
right?
possibility that she may have said that she wants to split up the guys? Is it really that far of a reach? I'm sorry.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. And listen, Paloma, oh God, I can't stand her. But anyway, Paloma is like, I'm a girl's girl. First of all, no, you're not. You're a bitch. But she's like, I'm a girl's girl, right? And then she gets pissed off because Taylor says she doesn't have any information about the guys, right? So then it shows her going in there, and Monty is the one who even brought Paloma's name up. He's like, what about Paloma? And she then says, hey, she's worried about whatever, right? And so then Monty goes back and he says to Paloma, hey, like, well, I'm going to investigate this. You didn't investigate crap. You already said that you already didn't believe it before. You weren't investigating. You were tattletelling, for starters, Monty. And for, like, here's the deal, though, with Paloma. Why did she not think to herself, oh, I guess Taylor's really not working with the guys because Monty just came to me and ratted her out? So your whole agenda of I've got to get her out because she's not a girl's girl and is wanting to work with the guys just blew up, but nobody wants to mention that fact. Like, hello?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done. I'm going to let y'all talk. I can't. I'm so...
I promise we'll get to the wheel of discussion eventually.
Yeah.
I just knew this was going to be our first topic, and it was going to go on for a while. Zach, do you have something?
Well, I was going to say, at this point, I would like Taylor to stay. Don't get me wrong. But for her own mental health, I would like for her to leave and just see she's not wrong. She's not in the wrong. Like, obviously, there's still time.
Yes.
There's the twist. Hopefully, maybe Paloma can go home this week. We don't know. I'm about 50.
Isn't that crazy that we could like live in a world where Paloma is like evicted tomorrow?
It is
Like
pretty
that's
wild.
like a real possibility here. Like
It won't happen because
That's-
everyone loves Paloma, and she's great. Even though they're all worried about her mental health now. We'll get to that. But like,
yeah.
Did y'all know that Jasmine's family is telling people that the feeds are edited? What is wrong? Her whole family. This is proof. Her whole family is cuckoo, bananas.
can I? Okay, so in the midst of this this lie,
I said I was done. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to
That's
play
great.
this clip real quick that I thought was the most absurd thing. And it doesn't even involve Paloma or Taylor. It involves Monty, who is the instigator of all this, because I guess he just likes Paloma more for some reason. I don't know. But he had this line about the footage and the cameras, and I didn't understand it.
The footage is there. How do you think you're going to get away with telling me a lie on camera?
What does that mean exactly? They're not watching the cameras. What does he mean by that?
She
Oh,
just
you'll
did.
Rewind the tapes. You know, they say he's probably seen the edited version where they say that. You'll see. Rewind the tapes, and he's probably in the DR. Like, can I get a look at those tapes?
I just don't understand what he meant by
rewind them?
that. He's acting like they sit there and they watch the footage on Thursday nights before they go
He's
into
an
vote.
idiot.
The footage
He's
is
an
there.
idiot.
I just don't understand. Like this type of delusion, like it really. I don't know in what earth. I don't know what situations that they have to go through to reorchestrate and rethink and reevaluate different situations to think it happened in a different way that it didn't happen in. I do not understand how these people do this. I can understand if you're intentionally lying, like Dr. Will, Dan, all these people, but these people are doing it and they actually fully believe it. They're not, I don't know.
Not only do they believe it, they believe Paloma. Paloma! That's who they believe.
Paloma, who thinks she's in a dream currently, like right this second.
Yes.
She's in the
is who they
Matrix.
And
she's
only
having
Nicole.
A severe glitch.
Only
My
Nicole
God.
said, hey, maybe this isn't true. And Nicole was even more convinced after she talked to Taylor. And Taylor was like, no, this is what I told Monty. And Nicole was like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I am extremely, extremely concerned for anybody that, well, I'm concerned for anybody that attends the law schools that these people in the house have gone to, because we have two people who are lawyers in that house, and both of them complete morons. And I'm just really concerned. I mean, Taylor, what was or not Taylor, Nicole was a police officer for 10 years. And you would think that she would have some sort of discernment about when somebody is lying to you. Maybe that's why she's not a cop anymore. Maybe she didn't make detective because of that. I don't know, but I'm no detective. But Paloma's a liar. Y'all are all morons. I don't have any faith in those people as lawyers. They can't even tell when somebody is lying to their face.
Well, yeah, Nicole,
Oh, gosh.
Blue's Clues can solve a mystery factor faster than she can.
Let me get out my notebook.
I will say I am 100% success with Blue's Clues. Never wrong. I put it together every time.
This house would be if
Yes,
they played
Michael is not a moron. I apologize for that. I'm just fired up.
But everyone is so caught in this train of just Taylor's got to go, based on nothing but lies and deceit, Dominique. And so even Michael was getting into it. He had the comment about, I'm going to call her Miss Congeniality in her goodbye messages. And everyone was like, oh, Michael.
I know.
And I was like,
did
no.
Later say that he felt bad, but
he did.
still said it.
I know. And what's even worse is, Michael, they don't care about you at all. Michael could have said anything to get into the good graces of them, but they're still not going to like him, which is so unfortunate.
This is
Did
a
he
prime
actually do that? Like, did he actually say that in his goodbye messages?
No, he was.
No, he
joking.
didn't.
Yeah.
He suggested it to
okay.
them when they were saying what they were going to say.
Right.
He suggested that. And then later, when he talked to Britney, he was like, oh my God, I said this and I feel terrible about
I
it.
did see that. Okay.
I was just
I
like,
just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
he said, I don't know what came over me. And I'm like, I do. Paloma's crazy talk got in your head.
See,
Get it out.
Paloma's
This is a
glitch.
prime example of groupthink / the road to Abilene theory, which is basically there's
Jameson.
There's a person that makes a set decision, and there's not people that oppose it, and people just go with it thinking that this is what everyone else wants. And then once they reach whatever decision that's made and the results there, then afterwards everyone's just like, wait, why did we do this? Wait, I thought y'all wanted to do this.
Yes.
And it's
That's such a good point too, because Taylor has been making the rounds ever since she was nominated, and I think Taylor's done wonderfully with making the rounds ever since she has been nominated. And every time she talks to someone, it seems to have the same kind of format that goes to it. It's, I'm sorry if I ever offended you, which is the idea that she got from Daniel's speech when he nominated her. And so she, of course, when the feeds came back on, the first person we see is Paloma, just like giving her a big hug and being like,
oh my God, I know.
which is insane. Like, that is insane. Paloma is the first person to encourage her and be like, I don't even remember exactly what she said, but I remember watching it and just be like, this should not be happening. This should not, like, cancel the show, cancel the season. Paloma does not need to be the one hugging and comforting Taylor, of all people, right now after she just got nominated. But Taylor's been making the rounds, and the format that follows pretty much is this: Taylor apologizing if she said or did anything that hurt anyone, and then that person saying, well, you never did anything to me. And then that's pretty much it, to the point where I'm sure Taylor is very confused as to what possibly could have happened. And I think Joseph was really the only one who I've seen give her like an answer somewhat. Joseph was like, I'll be honest with you, like, there was the finale dress, and there was just the way that you respond to some people
participated in.
They all encouraged her, which is weird to me.
They encouraged all
I'm
of them.
so glad that they put that in the edit. Like, when they showed it, I was immediately like, oh my God, thank God, because I can only imagine all the DRs they're about to air of people like trash talking her, and then they're also going to show them all encouraging the whole thing.
But I don't think they showed it enough, though.
No, they definitely didn't, but they showed like Kyle dancing with her, and then we've seen him on the feeds be like, oh, the way she like walked out there. I was like, is this a joke right now? Like, I could not believe that whole thing that happened. That was like,
and I bet
what is wrong with
CBS was like, patting themselves on the back. We put this one thing in there so everyone knows we're hearing everyone, and
Right.
she's not crazy. This is the one thing here. It's perfect. The fans are gonna love this episode.
Believe me, there are so many things that would have broken the show if they would have been able to put them in the episode. Everything it's just frustrating to watch Daniel as HOH complain, be like, I don't want to be seen as a racist, I don't want to have 2 black people on the block at the end of the week and be seen as a racist. Then don't do it.
Then why did you do it?
About before he ever even nominated her, and then still did it. Like, you're
You
aware
did it.
of the optics of it, but you still don't care.
But also,
Because-
he's okay because he talks to Monty a lot, and Monty was like, "No, you're not going to look racist." But also, he doesn't trust Monty. But also, he believes Monty when he tells him that Taylor's a liar.
I'm
so
sorry,
it's like, I don't
but-
understand. What are you doing?
Who
Also,
gave
the
Monty the authority to speak for everyone? Oh, Monty approved it. Well, I don't give a.
Also,
Okay.
the fact that, the reason why he was saying, I don't want to be viewed as racist, and then he's saying that Taylor accused him of this if he did this. Whenever, in fact, it wasn't Taylor that brought it up. It was, I think was it Jasmine? I'm not for sure who it was. I know it wasn't Taylor. And then he's like, the fact that she would bring it up, that's fucking bullshit. And this, that, and the other. Sorry, chat. But
You're quoting.
It's a quote. It's a direct quote.
and then I'm just over here like, what leaps of logic? Like, there is none. Like, there is no logic, obviously.
He just acts like he has no control, but at the same time, he brings everyone up to his HOH room and says, "I'm between Indy and Taylor." How stupid are you, man? Get everyone's information. Why are you giving them the 2 options of Indy and you're
So
looking for someone to
stupid.
say Taylor's name at that point when you have a
Yes.
prime opportunity to not only figure out where some people stand, just figure out who they don't stand with. That's also important. Who is the name that they're going to call out? Like, get a sense of the house because you've built nothing this week, dude. I'm sorry. You keep talking about how everyone's your homie. You have no homies at the end of this week because you've done a terrible job.
Nothing.
and listen.
Even,
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, even his final 2 has been clocked by many people. Him and Nicole. Everyone knows that they're frickin' frack because they're always together. It's like, dude did nothing this whole week. Nothing.
No, he
his
didn't.
position is worse after this week.
It is, and that is exactly what I want to point out is that all of the BS aside, because there's plenty of that to wade through this week. Thank you, Jameson. By the way, I love you. If you just look at what he did as an HOH, he did not make any kind of deals for himself in the coming weeks. 0 deals. The only person who I heard who offered him safety should they win HOH is Taylor, the person he put on the block. He did Frenchie made 1,000 deals. This fella made 0 deals. So you tell me who had the worst HOH first week. Definitely Daniel.
They're so much more comparable than they should be. It's honestly. No, that's so right, Roxy. And I think he has Nicole to a degree at this point. I said Nicole was the only person who was 100%. Even then, she wasn't really 100%. I don't know why I said that.
She wasn't 100% with putting Taylor up, but they are 100% loyal final 2 to each other. I believe that. So there's no need for him to make a deal with her. That's the only person he actually would be safe with. He's made some alliances, but listen, these alliances, there's 42 of them. Maybe more. I don't know. They don't mean anything.
Yes.
But not one single person did he say, if I keep you safe, can you reciprocate? What is wrong with you? Why do you not say? You've said the
Big
show
Brother
before,
101.
right?
That is literally Big Brother 101. Every single first HOH does the exact same thing. If you keep me safe, you'll keep me safe. It's the easiest week you could do that with because there's so many people.
Make some deals, make some moves, set yourself up because, buddy, you can't play next week. What is wrong with you? What an idiot. My God.
Wait, you're telling me that HOH the status doesn't carry for a few weeks?
No,
Believe it,
unfortunately, it doesn't.
even though this week has felt 3 weeks long and then some. No, it doesn't.
It really has. It's been 1 week since the premiere. It feels like 20.
And it's not in the good. I think it's funny how last season we had Frenchie who was doing too much, and it felt like a long time, but it felt like a good long time because it was like, what is he gonna do?
Well, it was fun to watch because it wasn't like
Messy and hateful. Yeah.
It was messy, fun kind of messy, where we're like, this dude is nuts, right? But he wasn't. There was no like ostracizing people or threatening to like lock doors and keep them out and that sort of thing. And Thomas in chat, you're right. Michael was also going to keep him safe, and he put Michael up. You know why? Because Daniel is a freaking moron. My God.
I just don't understand people who are.
We're not
just like,
homies.
We're just vibing.
Not vibing with him at all.
Yeah, we kicked it.
We kicked it, yeah.
And I really wanted to like him, and I'm so mad at him. I'm mouthy today. I'm sorry.
Perhaps this will give him time to apologize for the things that he's done. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh my God. That made me so mad, that speech. How dare you stand up there with your dried out, like bleached out bangs hanging out and reprimand her in front of God and everybody like you are in charge of her. You are not, sir.
You know, God is the 17th house guest.
Well,
oh my God.
I'm just like, it made me so mad. How dare you stand up there and act as if Taylor is your child and you're grounding her for the week? You think about what you've done, Missy. Why don't you shut up? She's so much nicer than I am, because I'd be kicked out of that house so fast because I'd probably stand up and just punch him right square in the face for saying, don't talk to me like that.
That is one thing I can get behind. Taylor is much nicer than you.
Listen, I'm not even offended. It's the truth.
All right. We've spent half an hour and haven't even gotten to the wheel of discussion yet.
And I do want to get to the wheel. I love the wheel.
But a couple of quick things I do want to point out about the episode tonight, since we did get some DRs that added some context, or really just annoying context to some things, as we saw later on in the episode, but we don't have to touch on that for now, at least. But we got the fashion show. We got Daniel genuinely not wanting to target Terrance. We knew all that just from his conversations in the HOH room leading up to Veto. Michael struggling to see people play Veto for him. We got the Veto comp, which is really the only big thing that we can talk about. And I think that really the highlights there were just how tall Michael is and how good he is at being tall. Don't let Daniel know that, though. Don't let Daniel know that he's tall Michael, that he's 6'3" tall Michael.
When I walk
he's a prime target at that point.
When I walk into the backyard, all I see is medieval times.
I hated I was
big face.
Ugh.
I did write a note. WTF was Jasmine's DR during the explaining or during the walk into the backyard. Also, we got the same thing again of let's give all the rules. Also, I love Kyle's dedication to hosting the competition. I did like that. But
it was just like Brendan with the pinball, the bowling wizard
Britney.
thing.
It was giving that.
It was. It was. I was like, "Can we get a Brittany Haynes diary room?" You're not a wizard, Brendan.
But then there was also like he was so intense with everything he said. But then there was like one line that they obviously had to have him re-record later. I don't know if you caught that, where it was just like, "And you must pass 3 times." And if you don't get it on the 3rd time, then if you don't, it was like that kind of switch. Like they definitely like in the DR just had him do a different take of something. I thought that was really funny. It was a lighter moment of the episode.
I never understand why people like. I mean, you literally have a script. Like, why can't you read it all? Like, I can understand if you can't hear you or anything, but it's like, this is nitpicky.
Well,
but
I mean, listen. They're probably picking. They call them in to do pickups all the time, but I did kind of like the veto competition. Like, I did think it was kind of fun, to be honest.
It was new.
I felt like there was
so-
some strategy there that people were not utilizing, like that bendy, that,
Pool noodle.
that bendy phallic object that they were holding. Like,
It isn't a first week of Big
Like-
Brother without a phallic object of some sort.
you have to have some sort of phallic something. I don't know why they weren't hanging off of it as per usual, but they were not hanging off of it this time. They had to poke it in a hole. How about that? Anyway,
Sure.
like bendy, do like this, like, and let them slide down. And you had time. That horse is not going that
Yeah.
fast.
And also,
But-
Amira had no reason to be worried in this veto competition, but she was very competitive, and it scared me. But she was
I knew
also
the
really
outcome,
good.
and I was like acting like I didn't in my living room, like, oh, like
Well,
what?
yeah,
I know what's gonna
she's-
happen.
From my understanding, she's going for next week's HOH. So
Yeah, Amira. I think Amira would be a good villain. But I just know she gives me, especially how she talks about like Michael and Britney. It just makes me worried. I'm like, she's gonna be the Sarah Beth to get out my Derek X this season, and I just know it's gonna happen, and I'm not ready for it.
Yeah. I also about comp. I also disliked the diary rooms with their stupid jokes. Like, even Michael did one where it was like where he used the word joust or something. I don't know. They're all so stupid. I try to block them out, but the comp
Yeah.
I liked.
I'll try
Poor
to joust my way into winning this veto. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Daniel's. I wrote that Daniel was giving a lot in his DR that I didn't particularly enjoy. But poor Terrance, I don't think he said a thing in his DRs tonight that wasn't fed to him. He can't say anything, I guess.
Oh my gosh, his last. First off, I don't think he's a real fan because obviously he doesn't know that he's like, I don't know if y'all know, but usually the old people go home first, but that's not going to happen this year. I'm like, first off, typically, or Cliff made it to the end. I mean, that's pretty recent. And I mean, I don't know where that thing came from. Yeah, a few old people have gone home, but not a lot. Like,
No, but they are typically not included and targeted early, even if they aren't the ones initially sent home. If it's a night one eviction, it's the old person.
Cameron.
I mean, not always. Listen, that's a whole different. That wasn't even Big Brother. That was Big Paul. I don't know, but
It was.
well, Little
It
Paul.
was.
Up until the last episode, it was very much Big Paul.
Yeah, literally Glenn won just a few years ago. Like, gosh.
Yeah, that happened. I don't know.
But also,
I apologize for being so negative this entire podcast, but I'm not going to stop.
if he went home, I don't think I would really be mad. I mean,
But he's a DJ. When he called himself an artist tonight, we're both artists. I was like, you're a bus driver and a DJ. What is it?
well, no, he's not even. He's
Carry-
not a
a
DJ.
karaoke-
He's a disc jockey.
He's a karaoke
Roxy.
DJ. They literally just.
Which isn't the same as DJing. And here it's time for you to sing your song. Play, woo! Like I'm DJ, whatever he's calling himself.
You've never seen Terrance in action. It could be artistry for all you know.
I mean, I just thought it was a stretch. He said we're both artists, and I was like,
We're spinning a whole new record. You could bet I'll be here after Thursday.
and I
Yeah.
I do like him. I mean, he's done some things that I don't like. There are some people in the house that I do like them. They have done and said some things I don't like. There are some people in the house that I absolutely hate and think that you're just no better than a pile of rubbish. And I don't accept any apologies that they may offer me. Like they're going to offer me an apology. They never will. But ugh.
They may call
But
you.
anyway, you don't know. Terrance, like I do like him. He's way out of his element here. I don't think that he has stood with Taylor the way that I really think he should have. I really think he should. Ugh. I mean, he has kids. what would you do if somebody treated your kid like that? How can you? Is he the only parent in the house? I don't think anyone else. Well, I mean, rumor mill has it that Pooch has got a kid on the way, but whatever.
Is that true?
I don't know if it's
We
true or
don't
not.
know,
It's a
but
rumor.
there's a rumor going around.
Interesting.
So.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody screwed the Pooch is all I know.
Oh,
Drop
is
the
that an
P,
original? Or do
I
you
can't stand him.
Ow! My cat just reached up and scratched me.
Pooch fan?
Yeah.
She was mad.
I had a note about Indy in that her only 2 DRs in this episode were her about her loving horses and loving the color gold.
Honestly, queen.
Well, I did listen. See, she's one of them that she's been a bystander and contributed to some of the Taylor stuff, but I don't dislike her, and I really loved last night on the. I know we're going to talk about it, but when she did a little clap back last night to Paloma, and I said, "That's right." Made me happy. I almost swerved off the road. I got so tickled at Indy. So I was listening to it on my way home in the car. I had the feeds playing, and I said, "Oh, she did not just say that."
If you would have perished on the road listening to Indy talk back to Paloma, that would have been quite a story.
But a one vehicle accident, and the cop shows up and it was like, "Can you explain what happened?" "Well, you see, officer." What happened was Paloma that was saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and then
say no more.
Yeah, and he's like, I watched that. I know.
He's got it on too.
I think that's. And you just like talk a lot of shit, and I don't think that's from you because you're 22 years old. But it's a lot of shit, and then just like keep
you're not getting on Big Brother Brazil right now. You like this is the fucking audition right here. Big Brother.
I think
that was it.
Well, there was other stuff too.
There was definitely a lot.
There
of other
was.
Stuff. That was the only thing I could
behavior.
find in time to talk about it with you.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll touch on that again later. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now.
No, it's perfectly fine. I think that's about all I wanted to say about the episode itself. Everything else was Taylor stuff, and we covered that pretty well, I think. The only other thing, Michael wins veto. Very happy about Michael winning veto, and love the Janelle shout outs. I like they had that in. They did. I thought they would for sure show after he did the whole WWJD, what would Janelle do, that they were going to show him walking out of the door and walking right into Britney, who was on the other side of the door. I thought that would have been a good, but they didn't. It's fine. Okay, yeah,
Spin that wheel.
Let's do it. The wheel of discussion, everyone. It's about time. All right.
Spinning.
I don't know if you can hear the wheel spinning at all. Oh, week 2 plan. I don't know if you heard that either. Week 2 plans. All right. So for the most part, week 2 is going to be pretty expected in a show that needs to be unexpected, or at least wants to say it is. So I would start off this conversation by saying the worst possible scenario in my eyes as a fan would be Pooch winning HOH. I don't know if everyone else has that same worst case scenario, because it looks like it would be, in that case, Britney and Michael. That would be the noms, and or Terrance and Michael. Either way, most people winning HOH, if it's not... Well, I should also say this. Most people don't want to win HOH. They would want Michael to win HOH for some reason. So he can go after Pooch and Turner. So that's a scenario that could possibly happen. Would Michael actually do that if you won HOH? I don't know. But Pooch winning HOH, putting up either like Indy and Michael, which I think he likes Indy a little bit more. So I would probably say Michael and Britney would be the noms. If Pooch were to win HOH, or Turner for that matter. Either way, most of the HOH winners would have, in the worst case scenario, Terrance, Indy, Michael, or Britney as the nom options, and nobody else, which is unfortunate, because I think if someone like Pooch were to win HOH, we are going to start this trend of let's just figure out the next person to ostracize, and so on and so forth, and it's not going to be good. It's also, I think, is going to be a catalyst for creating a big alliance of some sort that's going to be even more perpetuating to make those easy ostracized people the next evictees, which is not fun. And we've seen that many times. But what do y'all think about week 2? Did I just summarize everything okay? I think I did okay. I got some of it.
Did you say what would happen if well, I think it'd be the same. I don't know if Amira would target. Maybe she would do the thing and put up Pooch and Britney at the same time.
That would be bold. I don't see her putting up Pooch.
Listen, here's what I think, and it's going to be the most important thing you hear tonight.
I'm ready.
We don't know what's going to happen next week because I mean we can speculate on what they've said in the house, but the reality is once they find out what the rules of the twist are and whether or not this continues into the second week, that will change all strategy in like if we're going to have another backstage person, if we're continuing that twist for the second week, how is that going to be picked? It's going to change every single scenario that you just talked about, and everything will be out the window. I think a lot of the targets will remain the same, but how they go about getting there is going to like just completely throw everything up in the air. So we just don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I don't know. Amira as HOH would be kind of a wild card. She's kind of in everybody's corner to some degree, and it's not like nobody has caught on to it. There was a whole conversation between Jasmine especially has caught on to how Amira is kind of in every single side of the house. So there's not even sides. That's really being nice to the
every single fold.
I like that. That's fine. Yeah. So I don't think Amira should really try too hard. Unless a disaster happened and everyone really caught on to her, and then she becomes the next ostracized person, which honestly, would I be surprised? No.
No, I can totally see that happening, especially Amira.
Amira? Oh, I think maybe Indy too.
Yeah, I'm nervous for Indy. I really am.
They're both like not. You're seeing them become more like independent thinkers in a sense, and not like Indy, for instance, like the clip that you showed. And then also Amira, whenever I don't know if y'all saw that conversation where she was talking with, it was Jasmine, it was a group of people, and they were talking about Xavier and Kylan incident that happened. And then Amira was like, I just don't see what the problem was. I mean, it was fine to me. And then she stood her ground, and everyone was saying,
well,
oh my gosh.
She did up until they explained the situation. And then she said that she took her comment back because she didn't know that X was his nephew's caretaker.
Yeah.
Well, so also, she didn't know that it was like that.
I'm also wondering if it was, she was just like slowly realizing, oh, they're actually not really liking that comment. Maybe I should just...
Well, right. She could have. Yeah. She could have just been backpedaling, but I just want to say this real quick because this is on that topic. I did see people talking about that on Twitter, and I just want to say, people, check your sources on Twitter because there's a lot of AKA fake updates that have been going around.
Oh my gosh, I just block those every time because
block them. Like they are not real, ignore them. And then also there's a lot of people that I've seen like tweeting things where they're like, Alyssa said this, and I'm like, no, I just watched Paloma actually say that, and I'd have to go and like correct the person who is literally tweeting updates. And like I get it, it's hard, but like just be careful because like I've just seen a lot of people get shit, and I'm like, they didn't even say that. Like
trying to perpetuate the Taylor hate. We don't even have to perpetuate it. It happens all the time. But I saw something specific was them talking about that Jasmine had come in and sat down with her back facing to Taylor, and they were posting a picture of it. I watched that conversation from.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
From start to finish, and when that all started, Jasmine was already sitting on the bed, and Taylor was standing up over by the dressers, like leaned up against them, and then later, like as the conversation went on, she laid down on the bed. And listen, I ain't taking up for Jasmine. I'm just saying it didn't happen that way. but it looked like it
Yes.
did because you're sharing the picture and this is what you're saying, but that's not the way that happened. And so I don't like that, and I'll tell you why. Because there's already enough that Jasmine says and does to we don't have to make that up.
Right.
Because I think it does a disservice when you do that. And I don't know if it was just not intentional, like maybe somebody turned the feeds on afterward and didn't see that Taylor went and laid down. I mean, she stood there talking to them a long time, and then she was like, then she sat on the edge of the bed, and then she stretched out on the bed. But look, I mean, the fact is that they're not nice to her, but I don't like it because I feel like that it makes it where maybe people overlook the amount of real,
right. It's like invalidating the actual things that they're doing in the house.
And I don't know that it was intentional, but I saw it, and then it gets shared and shared and shared, and I'm like,
yes, I saw that exact thing because I had the same thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler F. also, I just wanted to say, so that came from what had happened was Taylor was talking about how people were commenting about how, oh, you should be a model, this, that, and the other. Well, Taylor was saying how, well, I'm not a 00 of that. And she's like, apparently that's like the standard for pageant girls and models and things like that. And more or less, she was saying, or Jasmine had said that she should be a model. And she was saying, no, I'm not a 00. And from that stemmed, people were thinking that she was telling Jasmine that too. Like, you can't be a model because you're not a 00.
Well, because that's what Jasmine said. Jasmine literally said.
Yeah.
So during all the dress trying on and wardrobe stuff, and they're all oohing and ahhing over all of her clothes because they're absolutely gorgeous. And they are all like, oh my gosh, do this one, do that one. Like, I mean, I watched that crap on there. And like the whole thing, like, well, what size is that dress or whatever? And saying it's a 00. First of all, listen, those sizes are meaningless. You have to go by the measurements anyway, because everybody sizes everything differently, which is so annoying. But Jasmine immediately is like, she called me fat and literally told everybody that. See, spread that one, because that's what happened. Like, Taylor didn't say anything mean. She wasn't condescending when she said it. She didn't have any kind of inflection in her voice of like, I'm thin and you're not. Like, no. Like, Taylor is so nice and Jasmine is a freaking moron. Although I did love her advice yesterday about the King of Popsicle store. I do want to go there, but I was like, mark that down next time I'm in Atlanta. I'm going there. That sounds yummy. But other than that, no.
I just laughed at how lame it would be if Taylor did say something along the lines of, I'm thin and you're not. Like, it'd be the worst villain line, like the worst bully line that you could ever have too.
Okay, Tyler in chat is like, I'm so lost about how that's what Jasmine took from that, because it was I don't know if she's insecure or not, but to me, I feel like if that literally is what Taylor said, is oh, it's a 00 or whatever. Like, she was asked a question, Taylor responded, it's a 00. She never once said, and you can't wear it, nothing like that. But so Jasmine, I don't know if she like has something where she internalized that and like it made her feel bad about herself, or if she's just that delusional, or she's just that mean or vindictive. I don't know. She just literally made it up and pulled it out of thin air. Like, it didn't happen, but she says that it did, and everybody is like, oh, exactly. Yeah. And so Bean, I say freaking moron all the time. I say it to my kids too. What, are you a moron? I do that all the time. I'm sorry. I can't help it. But
Roxy,
yeah,
that's very offensive.
it is
maybe,
offensive.
maybe,
Mm,
maybe we should put you on the block. I don't think that's a
yeah,
joke. Like your jokes aren't
yeah, it's true.
the week in
Whatever.
a
I mean,
nutshell, guys.
it really is. But it's like I just feel like that. I don't know what made Jasmine say that, Tyler, in chat, but I feel like it's an indication of her own feelings being projected. That's what I feel. I don't know.
Mhm.
She's a freaking moron. That's my answer.
You're trying to get a new catchphrase, I see.
We're almost fun. That's
We
my
are.
catchphrase.
Anyway, that's the week 2 plans. So
Yeah.
should we go back to the wheel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I didn't like that one.
I didn't like it either. I thought it was a terrible one to start out with. And now we're going to talk about Amira again, apparently. This wheel is backfiring so much.
The
Zach,
rise
since
of
this was your
Amira.
category that you wanted me to put on here, I'm going to let you ogle about Amira for a little bit.
Okay. So.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about her.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I mean, so we're seeing a lot of Amira, like as Barrett was saying, she's in the many different folds of the house. Folds, slides. I'm gonna go with folds. Folds is a thing now, guys.
That's cool.
And obviously Jasmine is catching on to her, and she's starting to share this a little bit with other people, and we're seeing a side that I didn't think would be shown. Like, I didn't think she's going to be such a good, or at least a decent player in a sense. She's setting up a lot of different proponents like that could be good for her as long as the people aren't talking with each other or anything like that. And we're also seeing there's this sort of feud that's going on between her and Pooch. Whether it's direct or not, eventually is going to circle around and get back to her. But right now, as it stands, Pooch is wanting to target Amira and Britney through thing on the field that we'll talk about, and then Amira is wanting to target Pooch and Turner. And we're seeing.
Turner.
I'm really thinking what's going to happen is Paloma is going to be pre-jury, and then Amira is going to take over that narrative of the season. If her game doesn't blow up in her face.
That's an interesting. I like that take. As the week has gone on, Zach, I have been pulled back to what you said in our last show about Pooch, how he's going to be pre-jury. I just see more of it. I think it's more of a possibility by the day. So I think I think that was a good call. But since we're talking about Amira, I agree. I've been impressed with Amira. I think she could easily slip into that role of playing too hard, though. And as we already see Jasmine talking about her a little bit, and Jasmine talking about anyone means that just means Jasmine's going to talk about it to everyone. There's not one single person that Jasmine can just talk about a person to. I don't know. If that's...
Like, do they not know the rule that if they will trash talk, they can watch people?
Well,
if they trash talk other people to you, but then you see them being nice to their faces, guess what? They're going to trash talk about you to all those other people, and they're going to be nice to your face. So she's got to go. And I do want to point out, by the way, that Precious Amira, whatever. She was talking about Taylor's mom. Like, why? That's trashy. You don't talk about people's families. Their families aren't playing the game. That's not part of the game. Like, you can lie, you can be mean, you can be manipulative, you can do all of those things. I see people all the time that are like, Paloma's just targeting her just because she's jealous and it doesn't have anything to do with race. That may be true, but the way that she is targeting her, she is using all of these microaggressions in order to accomplish that. And that I have a problem with. I don't have a problem. If you want to be jealous of her and target her for that, fine. But don't say the things that you're saying. I'm seeing a lot of that and I don't like it. And
for context, it was in the midst of the entire night of Taylor being outed for her lie that wasn't a lie. Amira said something in the storage room with Monty, and there was someone else there. I can't remember who, about how Taylor's mom is going to be pissed when she watches the feeds and see that her daughter was lying, which is like, just don't do that. That's
I
so
know.
uncalled
First
for.
of all, why would her mom be pissed that she was lying? It's Big Brother. Like, she wasn't lying, but even if she was, her mom would be proud.
Also,
So.
in that same line, she was saying her and her mom are super fans. I'm like, any super fan knows, like, freaking lie all the
You're
time.
supposed to lie.
Yeah, we
You
wanted.
have to lie. I mean, I don't think you can play the game without lying. That is part of it. You definitely, I feel like if you're not like lying, you're not really doing a great job. You have to look somebody in the face and be like, yeah, I'm not, like, I'll vote to keep you safe or whatever, even though you know good and well you're not. You have to do things like that.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I don't even care if you make up a lie about somebody else in order to target them. That's fine. That's all fair game to me. What's not fair game is saying things like your mom's not going to be very proud of you or whatever, or like that is completely
That's like
out of line. Don't say that.
Yeah, I know.
My mom's not playing the game.
The outcasting is now very reminiscent of Big Brother 21, but the bringing the family into it, that goes to BB19, that territory, and I don't like that.
I hate it
at all. So since we're talking about Amira, I will say I think my favorite Amira moment so far is the other day, and we have a whole another category on the wheel talking about this situation, was with Britney. And there's a whole debacle that we'll talk about with that. But essentially, she knows Britney outed her a bit, and she talked to Britney about this outing, but didn't say that she knew it was Britney. And it was a tense moment where Britney was just trying to save herself. It was even like, I don't know. It looked even. I don't know, the way that they were sitting too. Amira was just like on the bed looking down at Britney, who was like on her knees on the floor, and I was just like, this is really intense, and I really liked it because I was like, Amira is not like someone who's gonna. I don't think she's gonna be someone who backs down, especially if she hears her name is being thrown through.
She
the
was
mud
like,
in some form.
I've brought you here today to have this discussion with you. And Britney's like, yes, yes, my lord.
I just really think we're all gonna be loyal to each other.
Right.
I really
Britney?
hope if anyone says my name, they would come to me first.
Okay.
I just can't.
That's Amira.
Not.
All right. Can we go back to the wheel?
Yes.
Okay, I hope the next one is going to be about Britney, because that would be a nice transition, but we shall see. To the wheel.
It's not going to be.
No, it's not.
It's going to be so random. Hot
takes?
Hot takes. Hot cakes.
Barrett, I was fixing to say that. Get out of my brain.
Sorry.
It's scary there.
Okay. Any hot takes from anyone about this season so far? I know we've had a season very much on the side of not very fun, not even almost fun, like us.
We're almost fun.
Yeah. If we're almost fun, there's no telling what this season is.
They're nowhere close to fun.
See, everyone's okay. So this is what everyone's comparing this to BB21.
Okay.
I'll just say this. This season feels worse than that. Only because no,
Wait,
not
I missed that. What'd you say?
I said this season is getting compared to BB21. This season to me feels worse than that, just because on BB21, I mean, I understand they didn't think they were racist at the time, like, which, it's like, come on. But in this season, it feels like everyone feels like they're the hero in the situation, and they're so delusional and so engrossed in themselves that they think that they're the main characters. And it makes it feel worse for somehow, just because they think they're all doing the right thing. And they think that we're all going to love them for it.
That's where the biggest delusion in the house is that, I mean, like Paloma said, like something like we're gonna be on what you say, like E! News or something like that. Yeah, you sure are, but not for
Oh
the
my God.
reasons that you think.
Yeah. She was like,
Like,
we're going to
you're
be
an
viral.
idiot.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
Be careful what
you
you wish
are.
for.
Oh my god, you have so many fans.
They're
No.
going to be in for a shock, I feel. Much like Watermelon Boy. Mama, am I racist? Yeah, you are, honey.
My hot take is exactly what Tyler F just said, that
Yeah.
Alyssa seems to be one of the nicer people in the house and has openly expressed that she's not happy about the tailored treatment. Yeah, and I do agree
Yeah.
that she is definitely, especially in the beginning, I feel like more so now she's kind of like realizing, okay, Paloma's, you know, a little not all there. And she even made comments about it to Indy when like they kept calling Paloma to the DR, and she was like, I guess it's the Paloma show. I was like, oops, I feel the shade. And then her and Indy also had that moment in the storage room last night. I was reading the updates that like they were basically like, yeah, Paloma's crazy, so like let's keep each other like close or something like that. So I'm like here for that. And I honestly, my favorite thing about Paloma leaving tomorrow, hopefully, would be that
I like how you say that like as if she's even on the block. Like, which I
she
mean,
kind of is. Like she technically kind of is.
she could be as good as on the block. We don't know.
Right. We don't really know. But if she does leave tomorrow, I feel like Alyssa is like sitting pretty. And I'm kind of here for that. So
Well,
I'd rather root for
Rachel-
Alyssa than Pooch or Turner or half the other people in the house. So
Turner and Pooch. You've got to say it in that
Sorry.
order.
Pooch is crazy.
sorry.
If Rachel Riley can get some subtle producer help, why can't we get some help at getting Paloma out? Like, come on.
Honestly, the things that she's been saying, and we'll get to it, I don't think she needs to be in there. If this is truly not, if she's doing this on purpose, that's one thing. If she is not, and then I don't think she has any business being in this house anymore. And that's not even a hot take. I think that's just for her well-being.
I mean, no, I do agree. Like, I'm like, or some of the things she's saying, like, I'm like, do people hear her? Because she said that out loud, and y'all aren't reacting. Like, this is what I'm thinking when I'm watching the feed.
They've been reacting
like,
to it. There were people looking at the cameras yesterday, just being like, "Is this? Do you see what's happening?" Like,
I mean, she spent hours in the DR yesterday, and people are like, "Good, maybe she's going to get some help. Maybe they're going to take her out of there." But no, she came back into the house, went to the HOH, and talked approximately 90 words per second. And I mean, that may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but just, I was like, what? Like, and I've got to take a nap, and I need to lie down here and sleep. And like, first of all, it's in the middle of the day. You can't do that. But well, you probably can, because they let you do anything, Paloma. But she was talking crazy talk. And those 3 hours, I don't know what y'all did in the DR for 3 hours, but it didn't take whatever it was. She needs to got to go back. Something, it's bad.
She has to break the simulation first.
With bread, no less.
Yeah.
That the have-nots are going to eat. Like, that is bizarre. What?
And then they're all going to put on their finale dresses and ring the bell.
See, this reminds me of, this sounds bad, but it's not like really bad. So what I do with my friends sometimes is I gaslight them, like in a joking way.
Oh, okay.
I would love for you to describe that more.
Okay, here's one. Barrett. This is an example. Like, whenever Roxy's 43-year-old son says, I can't stand Ed Sheeran.
Mm-hmm.
Gunnar is the king of just trolling people out of boredom.
Yeah. So
he will pick something and he doesn't even.
My
dad called me and asked me if Gunnar voted for Kanye West. No,
got to make sure.
Didn't. Well, I mean, in hindsight, it might have been a better option, but I'm just like,
that's a thing to say on a podcast.
it's a joke, but
But
like Gunnar just like he'll just pick something like that, and he is doing it because he's bored, and he will pretend that he really thinks that for a good however long, forever sometimes, and it's like, but I mean, I grew him myself, so I'm just like, whatever, shut up, Gunnar. But a lot of people, they're like, did y'all hear what Gunnar said? And I'm like, don't pay him any attention. Or
Just so we can make this official, I went ahead and weighted the wheel.
Oh my God, please.
watch it not land on it.
Oh, come on!
Oh,
We're not doing it yet. I want to talk about Paloma first. The wheel doesn't matter anymore.
watch it not land on it again.
Come on. This is so defeating.
just take the Paloma one off, and we'll talk about Paloma right now because I have so much that I can.
Oh my God, it landed on it.
Metaverse.
Oh my god, I heard that.
That I didn't know it sounded like that. That's gonna.
That was-
I'm gonna have to go into the audio version and edit that out. That's gonna terrify some people. I'm sorry.
That's actually Roxy's scream.
Yes.
So okay, so first few days on the feeds, we get Paloma, just nonstop game talk. If you want to summarize it that way, nonstop Taylor talk, nonstop game talk, and then the last couple of days after Taylor's lie, that's not a lie, comes out. Taylor's on the block. We have seen a different side of Paloma, and not one that I think we expected to see. One that's concerning, depending on how serious she is. And we've already alluded to a lot of it, but I call it Paloma's metaverse as the category on the wheel of discussion because that is essentially what her speech boils down to lately. It is a lot of, we're stuck in the metaverse. We got to get out. We're dreaming. I keep seeing things that make me believe we're stuck in a dream. You can't convince me otherwise.
And this isn't a new thought process for her, is the thing. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter where they pulled up like some old tweets, or at least an old tweet of hers where she, I mean, it was like, I don't know,
I
2015
didn't even know
or
she
something.
had a Twitter.
Or I don't know, they pulled up, or maybe it was on whatever social media. I don't even know where I saw it. I am heavily medicated this week. I've been in the hospital twice this week.
Paloma needs to go there.
For real. I wasn't even in the psych ward. Perhaps that was their mistake. But like this isn't a new thought process for her. She has been thinking this probably since The Matrix came out, for all I know. But no, somebody posted something somewhere that showed it, and I was like, what? Zodiac, I'm having my Raven moment. How dare you? You will be removed. I'm just kidding. I love you too. That whole line of thinking of Paloma's is so very bizarre to me. I know that there are people who believe that, but I just think it's really odd. And to me, it feels like it's almost like a manic episode. My first husband, he didn't sign a contract, was bipolar, and so I mean, I've seen firsthand what that is like, the really super fast speech and the over the top grandiose ideas, and I'm watching her. I mean, I said it like a few days ago, like, is she having a manic episode? And then she starts talking about all of this, like eating bread to wake up, and I'm just like, can somebody help her? I mean, I don't like her, but I feel like there might be a medical need. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a detective. All of the things, like, clarify that in case y'all think I might be. I don't want you to be confused. I'm not. But something's not right.
No.
Something's
We're not
wrong.
hypnotists, guys.
Oh yeah, you forgot the rule book too, and how she
Yeah, the
broke up the rule book.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was the first like sign of something weird was going on.
Oh my gosh, that
her
was
whole
so bizarre.
She was basically talking about how she, and this is okay. I didn't watch too much of this, but the gist that I got, she was basically saying that she was going to split the prize money with everybody, and they were like, "No, you can't do that. Stop talking about that." And she's like, "No, you don't understand. I figured out a way around it. They put it in my bank account, right? And so it's under my name. It's in my bank account." And they're like, "Stop talking. Don't do this." But she's basically trying to figure out a way that she can split this $750,000 check 16 ways and or take everyone out to Greece or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 23 seasons, nobody else has figured this out, but somehow she has hacked the game, and because she's not just giving them the money. You can't do that. It's against the rules. But she can invest in their businesses. First of all, do they all have businesses that you can invest in, Paloma? Did you even check that part of it? Because I don't think you did. You didn't even do your research, idiot. What a freaking moron.
She literally, it was right when Taylor like went up on the block too. She's like, "Don't worry, we'll be like on a yacht in Greece soon. Like, just when you're home, just like root for us." And I was like, "Okay, you're already at the yacht in Greece."
I do want to at least play a clip of Paloma's behavior, just so, in case nobody has, there's at least a couple of people that haven't heard any of it. You can get a gist.
So bizarre.
I'm concerned. This is. I'm getting scared.
I'm getting scared that we're in a dream. We're
not in a dream.
No. Okay, no. Listen to me. I'm thinking we do the Inception thing. Oh, my microphone. I'm thinking we do the Inception thing. I think we do the Inception thing where we literally like get a chair. And this is how much I think we're in a fucking dream. A freaking dream.
But they're spinning top planets out there.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
kind of like
this. I've never seen this on Big Brother. Something's up. Something's wrong. Okay, listen. No. I'm thinking. Oh, this is so nice.
It's so cute. I wish I could wear pop-up tops.
It's
cute.
Now another thing is I'm paranoid if we say like brand names or even like especially Disney, they're gonna come after us with lawsuits. You know, it's legal. We forgot about the contract because we're having so much fun. We forgot about the freaking
What's the contract? I gotta go back. I'm really bad, and this might be.
I don't. That's another thing. Do you know how many times that she has mentioned being worried about being sued by various people and entities? Like at one point, it was like she said it about like 5 different things or places or people, corporations, whatever, that were going to sue her in like a 30-minute time span. And I'm like, what? Where is this coming from? Somebody said, is she acting?
Well,
if she is, can she get an award like an Oscar something, an Emmy? I don't know. What do you get for that? Because I've never seen anything like it. This is a full and total 24-hour a day, 7-day a week commitment.
Yeah.
See,
this
is
my biggest
on it.
Inception thing is like, why is a building called a building if it's already built?
Don't do that to me.
Why is it?
I need to distract everyone else.
That's the kind of crap my kid Leighton says to me, and I'm just like, I don't know. We'll have to look that up because I don't know, because your mom is stupid. That's what I tell her. I don't know.
Here's another clip of Paloma and Michael and Taylor all talking in the room.
No, like okay, so you're like, this is not a simulation. We're still in Big Brother. You haven't questioned if you're lucid dreaming or Inception in here?
No, not in here.
Not in here.
No, I want to believe this is real.
You have the only rational brain right now, then, because I think some of us are really convinced. So continue.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know.
I remember the sunlight before walking in. I remember walking in, so it has to be real, right?
Yeah.
The sunlight is the only reminder that it's real at this point.
Yeah.
Because there's too much weird shit going on.
All this fake sun.
I'm like talking into the mics now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're an angel. Thank you. Literally. And this is like, she's perfection. This is a fucking dream. Look at her. She brought me a fucking...
The simulation.
This is it.
Provides.
And I'm hungry. Bloop. Oh, it's just... Oh my God. And she cut it in half so cutely.
That's perfect.
Like, life is too good right now. I honestly, if we're in lucid dreaming, hell, I don't want to leave.
Everyone's so goddamn nice.
What do you think about that? In college,
that's all I'm gonna play with that.
I feel like she's very like, she'll say something and be like look in the camera, and it's like, what is that? I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's like all the time when she'll like be going off about like reaching nirvana when she was talking to Turner or something, and she's like, yeah, so like I think I reached like nirvana or something, and like I was like, what is going on? Like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know. She's like, I was concerned with her. That day was the worst, I feel like.
Did you watch when she was up in the HOH with Daniel?
I saw the
when I'm
clips
up
of
here.
it on Twitter afterwards, so I didn't watch it like live. But
can I just like can I just take like a 3-hour nap? But don't tell them I'm up here.
Yeah, like it really, honestly, I think that was that, and when she was talking about doing the fake podcast where she.
That was so bad. And Indy was like, no, honey, it is not her job to educate people.
To educate you. Like,
she was like,
Google. I mean, and honestly, like, yes. I feel like it is 2022 and you're like asking questions. And the fact that she was so impressed with other people's knowledge about very basic information like geography. She was like, oh my gosh, you're so knowledgeable. What?
It's like world geography right here, and there's like the map above.
It's been a tough concept to grasp for some of these house guests. Okay, the geography has not been their subject so far. Whether it's
Wait till she finds out Russia's only 3 miles away from Alaska. Wait till she finds that out.
What?
Newark. Do y'all not know Newark?
And then I think someone mentioned earlier in chat. She said that Berkeley was in Palo Alto, California.
I know. She said yes,
and she's from California.
She said, "What? Yeah, and you should know that." She said she went to school at Berkeley, and then who was it?
She went to school
what's his face? Turner. Turner goes, "Oh, is that in?" I think he said like Michigan or something somewhere. Like, no. She goes, "It's in Palo Alto, California," and I was like, "Berkeley, UC Berkeley is in Berkeley." So. I don't know. I mean, there is a Berkeley School of Music that I actually have visited before, and it's in Oklahoma. I don't think you meant that one. You're not an artist like Terrance. So she says she went to school there. She didn't even know what town it is. You're from the state. I realize California is very large, but
because she was stuck in the metaverse at that time.
Yeah, like it's in Berkeley. It's in Berkeley. That's where it is located. But I just was like, I'm sorry, what?
BB,
and
sorry.
I feel like
I've never gotten into Ivy League, so I wouldn't know.
Right. I'm like, surely other people know that UC Berkeley is in Berkeley, right? Like, that are in the house. And she's saying she went there, and then you hear her say that. Does it not, like,
honestly,
in your brain?
If she can convince them that she did not lie, or she's not actively lying about Taylor, then I think that one is going to be super easy to convince everyone of. For some reason, Paloma, I almost called her Palo Alto, has this ability to convince everyone of everything. It's like she has Britney's hypnotism powers, but just in her, and she radiates it with her speech.
What if
it's ventriloquism?
What if Britney hypnotized all of us and we don't even know it?
Yeah. What if actually we're in the metaverse? We're just in Paloma's brain.
Well, hold on and let me get a slice of bread because I want out of that place because we're liable to get an infection of some sort. So, listen, I should have known when Paloma stood herself up she didn't stand up, but I like to pretend. In my world, she stood up at the dinner table and talked about the worst moment in her life was when she broke her ankle and had to wear a boot for a couple of weeks. And so she was thankful for her feet and ankles. I should have known then
No, we should
Things
have
are
known
going
whenever she
like
said, "My name's Paloma and I love mayonnaise."
mayonnaise.
Addicted
Yeah,
to mayonnaise.
like we should have known that things were going to spiral at that point. But listen, she was up in the HOH room, and she me too being proof that Paloma actually graduated from UC Berkeley. I'm thinking she probably didn't. She literally though sat in that HOH room, and she has never sounded more spoiled than when she was talking about how hard that her life was and how much anxiety she had because she had to be on her phone for 8 hours taking pictures at Turks and Caicos. What? Oh my gosh.
Oh, I did
Seriously?
see all this.
This is one of the worst things that's happened in your life. You have not had a very hard life. So shut
She's
up.
like, my friend like lost her luggage on the way there, but everyone just thought I had this amazing time because I posted this beautiful picture of me on the beach, and it was like so nice. I was like, okay.
She just went on and on about how
She
it was
just
just so
goes.
bad, and I just
Oh yeah, her friend lost her passport. That's what it was.
my addiction
was-
to this to my phone, and I'm just having these withdrawals. Okay, you're just looking for any reason whatsoever to not be blamed for your behavior that the production has clearly warned you about. You're acting like a crazy pants, and I'm sorry, but nobody feels sorry for you that you had to post pictures on your phone while you were on vacation. And that's not even the only vacation that she talked about. It's like, read the room, bitch. I'm sorry.
All right. Nick, you got to go to bed soon. So
I do.
And I'm not going to let you stay up past your bedtime. I can't. That won't, it won't sit good with my conscience. So I want you to give us some final thoughts on your end. Because I just want, I know we've talked about a lot. I know we still haven't talked about some things, and I hate that you can't do that with us.
It's okay. So I do think that Britney done fucked up this week. I do just want to say that before I go, because I know we didn't get to talk about that yet, but Britney fucked up. And I really think she might be one of the next few boots now, when that really was not the case for her at all. And I understand why she did what she did because of the whole paranoia of what the hell the backstage thing is.
Mm-hmm.
But she done fucked up. Other than that, I am rooting for Miss Indy. She's become my new like fave because I feel like she's so raw and real, and she's just very much like, I don't give a fuck, and I love that about her. So I'm hoping
she really
that
doesn't.
She really doesn't, and
that's good.
She's like,
even though
that's what we
Paloma told
need
her-
on this type of show, like people like
Yes.
Indy who just don't care.
16 of those.
16
people who
in
don't
one
care.
house.
People who just don't even care. I would prefer it
that.
at this point.
I would
Nick,
prefer it.
Did you hear Paloma tell Indy straight to her face, like the reason that you don't ever talk game, basically the reason you're not good at this game is because you're from Brazil. Did you hear her say that?
I think.
I mean, those weren't her exact words, but
was it in the
because she
HOH
just
room?
was saying, yes, it was in the HOH. She was legitimately saying, like, you don't like to talk game and be involved in this game because you're from Brazil, and everybody knows that Americans work hard 24 hours a day, and in Brazil they're very laid back.
I did see this.
Like,
yes.
What? I was like,
what? I was offended for her in that second. It was very strange, like a very, very weird comment. But yeah, I'm honestly rooting for girls to win HOH just because I want a Pooch boot so bad. Like I'm like clenching onto it like for dear life, just because I feel like if we get like one of the annoying men out, like something can happen. I don't know. I'm very like trying to be hopeful of something, and like we're only on week 1, and the fact that they canceled the exit interviews too tomorrow also has me like,
yeah,
what are y'all doing? So I don't know. I'm very like low key hopeful, but
Yeah.
low key.
Okay, that's cool. I can't believe you would try to split up the guys. I might have to tell someone about that.
They
But
can all go except for
It
Joseph.
won't be
'cause he's hot.
believed. Don't worry.
oh, okay, cool. That's fine. But Nick, thanks for joining us. I
course.
hope you have a good episode tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a good time at work tomorrow early in the morning.
I definitely will not, but thank you.
All right, bye, Nick. Oh wait, I should give you
Bye.
a cheer.
I just won HOH. Turner and
I
Pooch
wish.
on the block.
Yes.
Thank you for saying it
I-
that
I-
way.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
The correct order.
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go now. It's fine.
Okay.
Leave.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Nick. So Tyler says, who is it that said the Indy and JC could be related because they're both Brazilian? JC's not Brazilian. Was it Daniel? I can't remember who said that. Somebody did though. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Everything is run together. Like earlier in chat, somebody was saying that Terrance called Taylor a bitch, and I was like, he did? Did I know this? And I have like,
Yeah.
He did do that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very upset about that. It's like so there's so much that's happened. I can't even believe it's only been 1 week. I'm trying to store all of this crap in my brain, and I just simply don't have enough room because I'm so smart. I'm just kidding. That's not it. It's because I'm a freaking moron. Also, so
You sounded like Paloma logic there for a second until you admitted your faults.
Wow.
yeah, and I have like a million faults, and I will readily tell you all about them. Like I'm an idiot, but I'm no Paloma, that's for sure.
Hey, that's fine.
I embrace that fact.
Let's spin the wheel. What do you think it's going to land on?
The what we don't want it to. Oh.
All right. Let's talk about Britney and her plan backfiring. We talked about Amira earlier. I talked a little bit more about how I was very tense during a moment with Amira and Britney. So now we're going to talk about the situation with Britney. So Britney essentially is so worried about this backstage pass, and this is going to be me telling a story with hopefully the right information. So worried about this backstage pass because she doesn't know what it means. We don't know either. We're still waiting. Basically, she knows that Pooch is going, if he has the opportunity to have a third nominee that he throws up on the block in the event of this backstage pass twist tomorrow night, that he would probably nominate Britney, and he would. He has said as much. So Britney decided that she needed to get in the good graces of Pooch. And so she did that by basically going into the storage room and pretty much saying to Pooch that she might be the only girl in his corner and that she needs him to know that they're both good. So she did all that. And basically just being like, none of the girls are with you. Even Amira isn't with you. Specifically calling out Amira. And then Pooch leaves.
Which was so stupid.
Yes. Britney collapses on the floor and then gets back up and is like, I hope that worked. It didn't. In fact, it made things so much worse because Pooch tells Amira everything that Britney told him. And
Also,
so then that's what?
I was going to say, the conversation that her and Britney had was so... Hello. Was so cringy. It's just like, there are two people who have an alliance. Who do you think they are? Amira and Alyssa? No, they're backstage people. There are two people who have alliance. Who do you think they are?
Just guess.
Amira and Paloma? No, they're two backstage people. Who are they? You're like,
it's not me or you.
You have to guess. You have to guess. Just tell me. No, you have to guess. Like
you have to. It's
You have
imperative
to-
that you guess this.
Pick a hand. Pick a hand.
All right,
You're
I'll
wrong.
I'll just tell you, it's Paloma and Alyssa. They have an alliance.
Oh God.
He's like, okay. How does this help me?
Yeah. Which I just don't understand what Britney's thought process was in all of this. I mean, I kind of get it. I get it in the sense of, oh, you're worried. You just want to try to cover your bases and have more effort than, say, Alyssa and Paloma do. If there is a third nominee that goes up on the block tomorrow night. But I would just kind of bank on the not doing it in that way. Being like, how about you just talk to Pooch a little bit more? Not immediately say, everyone's against you, Pooch. You got to save me if you get the chance. I'm with you till the end, buddy.
Is this the
with
first
finger
time that
guns.
these two have talked too? I don't think I've ever seen them talk before
No,
this.
because there's no reason they should ever get along, I don't think. I don't think Pooch gets along with anyone. I think Kyle said it best. He says, you don't talk with Pooch. Pooch talks at you, which is so true. And so I just don't think there was any reason, after hearing everything that Pooch has said ever in this game so far, that Amira should have any sort of conversation with them that would mean something game-wise, or that would have any sort of longevity, and especially would not get out to a different person and work its way back to her, which it did almost immediately, like within an hour, probably. That's what it seemed like.
See, this is what I would do. Whenever I go to Pooch, let's say I never talked to him before. I'll be like, hey, Pooch, how's it going? And then I'll be like,
Hey, Pooch, how's it going?
Yeah. And then I'd be like, I'll talk about football, like, because he's a coach. And I'll be like, so how about that game or something like that? And are you ready for this season? I know you're not going to be there. And then, butter him up a little bit. And he's probably going to go all in because he's the type of person that I feel like his favorite subject is him.
Yeah, he stroke his ego, and that's what he is. That type of person. That's exactly the truth.
And then once you get into that, you'll just be like, "Well, I know. I just know that you want to win this game and everything, and I know that you want to."
I'm sorry, Thomas and Chat.
Yeah.
How about that sports ball, Pooch?
I feel like that can only be yelled across a room. Like, I mean, hands cupped over mouth, just scream it across.
And then I just be like, there was another football coach that did pretty well in this game that won. Do you know who that is? Dan Giesling. I see a lot of that in him with you.
Shoot, that got Nicole
and you know what?
out in season 16.
You know what's weird though? A lot of people are talking about putting you up, just like Dan was put up. I don't want this to get back to you, but I think you're a mastermind.
I think you're the most brilliant man ever to play this game, Pooch. And I don't even know you.
And bam, wrapped around the finger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Britney's a hypnotist. She's not that kind of hypnotist, but that's exactly what she wants us to think, right?
Tyler said he would talk to Pooch about hair gel, which I think
he'd be so
is
into
equally as important to Pooch.
Yeah, that would really kill with him.
Yeah, I'd be like, hair gel? Yeah, you're using too much. Stop.
Well, I just observed Pooch those first couple of days, just saw how he acted. I'm like, I can never get along with this guy. I don't even think I could get along with him in real life. Certainly not in a Big Brother game. But then I remembered he's 24 years old. And then it just clicked. I was like, oh, this makes so much more sense. And I just forgot about that.
Older, I feel. Don't you think he looks older than 24?
I thought he was older.
Down the street that's in his 30s.
He looks like a used car salesman. No offense. I'm sorry. I don't mean like a real life used car salesman. I mean like the stereotype
like used car
salesman that they would have like in a movie, like how they play that up and they make them kind of sleazy. They're not in real life. Yeah. I mean, my husband sold cars once and they were used. And is he sleazy? Maybe a little, but I'm just kidding. No, he's not. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what he looks like. He looks like he's old and sells used cars. I don't know. What? I'm medicated. Leave me alone.
It's okay. No, I get you. But no, it made more sense just socially watching him after I just like remembered that he was 24 years old, because suddenly just the way that he is being sporadic and just assumes that he is the most important person in any conversation makes so much more sense in that fact. But yeah, I just wanted to say that about a Pooch. But anyway, going back to Britney. Unless Zach, did you have one more thing to say about Pooch?
No, I wanted to get to this part. This part
okay, cool.
Made me cringe.
Okay, so Amira decides to talk about this rumor that she heard, that she's going after Pooch and Turner with a few girls in the room. One of those people,
Turner and Pooch.
Turner and Pooch, and she retells this in a room full of a few of the Girls Alliance, including Britney. And so I'm going to play a clip now of the moment that Britney is sitting right next to the bed with Amira just basically in like the power position, just being like, and I don't know where this rumor came from.
Almost.
Yeah, I bet like on
cool
her
action
back.
figure.
She's the relaxed. Britney is tense, and I just love this angle because it shows Britney's face throughout this entire moment, and you can just see the wheels turning, and just like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this?
Deer in the headlights. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
And don't use us as pawns for this block thing either.
How would I? You guys aren't even on it.
I'm just giving, like, don't try to say.
Is anyone saying anything?
No.
No?
Not I don't know. Something is going around, and I'm just not liking it.
What is going around? Seriously, can you tell? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Can you tell me? Like, I'm afraid people are trying to. They're probably trying to come up with some excuse so that it makes it easy for me to go. But please give me a chance to defend myself.
No, it's not about. No, it's not about
Oh,
you.
yeah, no.
It's not about you. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
If it has anything to do with me, I want to be able to.
We're cover our corners
We're
because it's
covering our
happening
corners
within.
because there's a rumor going around that I'm trying to get rid of Pooch. So I've only told you guys. I've only fucking told you guys this. So like.
Do you think you could?
And it wasn't even like I was trying to get rid of Pooch. I'm just offering up people that we can nominate. So there's a rumor going around. That's that. And so I know who I talked to about this, and it was only you two plus it was only our line.
Yikes.
Nothing says I'm guilty. Like, just tell me. I mean, if it's about me, just tell me because I want a chance to defend myself. Like, stop talking.
Yeah.
Like, you no. She was like, is it me? And
Yeah.
Me? What? Me? What?
Yes, Amira was pretending that she didn't know Britney was guilty, but definitely knew that Britney was, not just definitely, like 100%, like Pooch told her. That's exactly what Britney said to him. And so undoubtedly, yes, she knows
It
that
was
Britney
like
did
a
this.
toddler, like being caught doing something, like when you have kids and you're like, somebody got into the cookies, and then your toddler standing there with like chocolate chips smeared all over their face, and they're like, that it.
That's crazy.
I don't know who could have done that. Like, it's my brother. Like that's what Britney reminded me of. She's like, is it about me? Because if it's about me, no, it's not about you. Well, okay, but was it about me? Shut up.
Did you hear something?
Because if you heard like my name or anything, like I'd just talk about it if it was me. What?
The best way is to play dumb. You know what? Who are you talking to? Zach? I don't know who that is. Wait, Big Brother? I've never played that game before. I don't know what you're talking about. Deny. Like, make yourself seem so stupid. Like, you don't even know what earth you're on. Like, act like Paloma. Like, come on. Like, don't even think.
I don't think that's yeah.
Going overseas to Newark. Like that kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It might work.
You are so knowledgeable.
But nonetheless,
That's what
Britney
she
really
said.
fumbled the ball.
So
Pooch would like that reference.
I mean, honestly, she did. Like, so aside from the whole clip that we just watched where she was deer in the headlights, like caught and she knows it, the look of guilt. Jeez Louise. Aside from that, I don't understand what she thought the strategy of that was.
No, I can see what she thought the strategy of it was.
Yeah.
Is that if she did this and then it saved herself on Thursday night. I get that she thinks that that's what she was doing. Of course, we're watching this thinking there's no way that this is going to work, nor do you need it to work, probably. But then again, she doesn't know that America is saving one person. She doesn't even know what's going to happen on Thursday. So,
but they are kind of they are kind of planning on that, and I know that people are like super confident, like Britney's going to be the one saved, but who knows with the edits and the casuals and whatnot. I mean, listen, it's a big deal if I've voted, and I have definitely voted for Britney. But the people in the House, particularly today, with Taylor kind of campaigning, I guess, per se, is doing it on the assumption that she could potentially be against Britney somehow. Like, Britney could be up there, and like whether or not she could have the votes if Britney is there. So they're all assuming, I guess, like maybe there's a third nominee or maybe one of the backstage. Like, they're trying to figure out that twist, and they're all assuming automatically that Britney's going to be the one that would be ousted. And first of all, how funny is it going to be if, in fact, Britney is saved? Like, their minds are just going to be like, but it's a little presumptuous to just assume that it would be Britney. And that's kind of like in part of her pitch, Taylor's pitch. And I'm like, what if it's not Britney that you're against? What if it's Paloma?
Yeah. She is putting all of her cards on Britney.
Easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like you could just be like, have y'all noticed how crazy Paloma is lately? Like,
I don't know how she could do that because everyone believes everything Paloma is saying. Maybe it'll be a little bit different now after Paloma has had her metaverse for 2 days. But I mean,
and apparently she's not on the feeds right now, is what they were saying, which I'm not looking at the feeds right now. So
no, only thing I saw lately from the feeds, which relates to our topic, is that Pooch referred to Britney as his enemy. But then he backtracked and said, not my enemy, but like,
my nemesis.
But I think the really unfortunate thing about this Britney thing, besides just, hindering any sort of relationship with Amira or Pooch, which extends to a lot of people in the house, it also extends to Michael, because Michael is hearing about all of this secondhand as a member of Bleep, which used to be Mamba, is now Bleep.
We forgot to mention that they were trying to
and
bring in
Britney's
Michael. They were trying to bring in Michael.
Well,
they talked about it.
Yes.
And Britney already brought it to them, or to Michael, without telling them. So that even caught her up even more. And that's why Amira doesn't believe her in that same conversation.
Well, good catch. Thank you.
And she's removed Britney from the alliance. Start again. She has removed Britney from the alliance unbeknownst to Britney. Amira has. From the girls' alliance.
Zach, I can hear your nose breathing into the mic, as soothing as it is.
I didn't even notice.
I can feel the intensity of this conversation.
I'm so mad.
You seething over there.
He is so mad. No, this whole, like, they're always like, well, we're taking that person out of the alliance and we're putting this person in. There's so many, like, these aren't alliances. These are, hey, maybe I like these people for a day. We're on day 6, right? 7, 6, 7, around there. It feels like it. Like, y'all have switched, like, these. I have news for people. If you're in an alliance and any of the people in that alliance are just interchangeable, movable, whatever, that's not an alliance, and you need to find something else quick. It's weird to me.
Yep. But this is typical week 1. Usually I don't think we would have even known really about girls too much if it wasn't on feeds night one, if I'm going to be completely honest. I know they incorporated it so much into these episodes, but I don't know if that would have been altered a tad bit with everything that's happened just in the last couple of days. But yeah, what were we talking about? Britney? We're still talking about Britney?
Yeah, because because she's told some things that have gotten back to mainly Amira, but like to people that she was aligned with.
Yeah.
And she's doing it because she thinks that she's going to somehow be twisted out of the game.
Yeah.
So she's trying to cover her bases, and she too is assuming that she'll be the one. Paloma and Alyssa not worried about it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, because Michael is hearing about all of this secondhand, pretty much. Also hearing that Britney is probably going to be targeted next week, and he's not really relaying this information back to Britney, which is all because she went rogue, rats, and told all of this information without even talking to Michael, who before this was pretty much, they were pretty much each other's number one. And not pretty much, that was kind of a fact at that point. And so even the relationship with Michael being strained is just like, God, she really messed up. Which is so unfortunate, because I really like Britney, but this move just makes me feel like I don't know if I can really get behind her too much on this. Also because in the moment, she felt like it was a really good move.
Which I'm not saying that she shouldn't try and protect herself. You absolutely should. And I don't particularly know what maybe the right move would have been. I just know that the moves that she made, those weren't the right moves. And hey, Eric.
Well, the move should have been that she should have been building a relationship with him since she got nominated as the backstage, whatever they are, people. She should have been getting closer to him since then, but because as far as I know, Paloma and Alyssa haven't really done much for him, really, like as far as like getting to know him, like they talk with him, obviously, or I guess he talks to them, but that's the part where she missed out. Like, yeah, you can talk strategy with people all day, but people aren't going to talk strategy with you if you don't get to know them first. Like, even if it's Pooch, who, just talk about him, just get him to talk about him. And he's like, oh my gosh, this person loves me.
Yeah, Tyler in chat said Britney's edit is nothing. So the casuals will not be voting for her. Paloma has a villain edit that's very present, and Alyssa has a great edit, so they could vote for her. Those are all excellent points that I do agree with. So,
well, maybe if it's some type of competition, Paloma will Caitlyn her way into failing epically through this.
It's a 4-piece puzzle.
Yeah, through this. I don't know what we would call this. Her overthinking, I guess.
That's fine. I can deal with that. I think Paloma probably got the most votes she was going to get before the feeds came on. If you remember, after the first episode, everyone was like, we got to save Paloma. Even though Britney was still getting more of the support at that point, there was still so much support for Paloma, where I feel like that quickly waned off after night one on the feed. So I think, I don't think there was enough of a push for Paloma in that one night. So I think Britney is going to get it.
Well, it depends on whether or not casuals vote. And I kind of am of the mindset that casuals are casuals for a reason. Like, how much, I feel like if you're a casual viewer, it's like, oh, Big Brother's on, I'll watch it. Or maybe you even watch it like after it's already aired. Like you don't even care enough to watch it live. Oh my God, did someone just die?
I think you can answer that.
Yeah, it's Gunner, the 87-year-old.
Casual.
With his sweater.
Yes, with his sweater. I feel like if casuals are so casual, maybe they don't even care enough to vote, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But even casuals, I think, would probably vote Britney. I feel like people vibe with Britney. Casuals would vibe with Britney a little bit more.
I feel like no vibe is better than negative vibe.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, if that's the case, then Alyssa just hasn't been on the show.
Alyssa's just
know
like,
the edit is negative enough against them for people to want to be like, I'm not voting for her. She's cuckoo.
After tonight, yeah. I think
Look, Will in chat says a close friend of mine is a casual. I asked her who she voted for, and she said Paloma. So, yeah, it's hard whenever we know the truth and we try to watch it, like the edited show. It's like because we have a different lens than what people who have no information. And so I don't know, like, am I watching it and going, no, she doesn't look like a villain at all, because I know how much worse. She's infinitely worse. So I don't really have a perspective of somebody who has zero knowledge, how that might appear to them. So I mean, I'm very biased in going, no, they did not show it correctly. Maybe casuals do think she's awful. I mean, Will's friend did not, but Will, you need new friends. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I don't really know. It does kind of worry me, though. Like, I'm such a nervous wreck about the vote tomorrow night.
It'll be okay.
Especially the type of voting that they have right now, where you just have to submit an email. I mean, there are pretty crazy fans out there who will who will sign up as many emails as they can in order to get Britney the votes. Not to say that CBS won't rig it, but
they would never.
How dare you?
I have many questions. First of all, how dare you?
I do sit in the board meetings, so I would know.
You do, yeah. That's a well-known fact. And then
that's true.
Yeah, you're in the meetings. CBS calls Roxy, and then I
they never call me. They hate me. But also, I have been trashing them pretty hard tonight, so
yeah,
maybe a reason for that.
Yeah, they might.
I'm mad at you, CBS. Here we are over here being almost fun as always, and you have to just rain on my parade and everything else about me that's almost fun, and I don't like it. Not approved.
It's okay. It's okay.
What else is on our wheel?
We got a few things. We got Alliance chart. I got what's everyone else up to. Backstage pass, which we've hit on that a little bit, and then say one nice thing about the season.
I refuse.
Well, we'll see if you get to refuse in a second. You do. All right, Roxy, do you really refuse to say anything nice? It could be anything, just something nice about one of the house guests. Anything like that. I will say
something nice. I will say something nice about the season. I like Taylor. She is beautiful. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I don't think that she's necessarily playing a very good game. I don't think she's been given the opportunity to play at all, to be honest. But I do think that she is a very wonderful example of a very kind human being who has the patience of Job, and we should all aspire to be like her. And I think she is she is the bright shining light in this trash can dumpster fire of a season so far. 6 days in, this is my opinion. Was that nice enough?
That was really nice, yeah. Zach, do you have a nice thing to say about this season?
I mean, it's a good thing I'm not on this season.
Is that the nice thing?
I mean,
I can go first if you need me to.
Yeah, you go
I
first.
would love to. Well, somebody go.
I know, yeah. I was supposed to say, let's sit here for a little bit longer and think about this. No, I am thankful that.
Eating legs.
Yes, we're doing thankful circle now. We're at the dinner table. I really liked that we don't have a 100% solid alliance this week. I don't like, especially 6 or 8 persons. That's my big thing. We don't have an 8-person alliance to worry about coming out of week 1. And we really don't have much of a 6-person alliance either. I don't trust Bleep for Bleep, if I'm going to be completely honest. So I feel good about that.
That's good.
And I feel like with the right HOH, next week they can make this house a little bit more fluid. And it's not going to be predictable enough, like I think it might be otherwise. So I'm very happy about that. Then again, if Pooch wins HOH, I'm very worried. But still, I'm not like 200% worried.
Take it.
I'm uncertain right now, which is a nice feeling, I think. But then again, I felt the same way last year, right before Kyland won HOH in week 2, and then everything was still pretty predictable after that. So maybe those feelings are it's just recency bias, and I think it's different, and it's not really that different from previous seasons in terms of how I feel about future targets. Did I say a nice thing, or did I kind of go back on it at the very end there?
What?
I like Michael. Michael's pretty cool. Zach, did you think of one yet?
I mean, the stage is nice.
The stage is nice, yeah.
The set.
10 minutes to think about it.
I mean, like, there's no like Michael. Like, yeah, Michael's cool. I like him. It's just, I don't know. There's not really any. This feels like
nothing redeemable.
This feels like love. This feels like the Great Value version of Love Island right now. Like,
there's no showmances. What are you talking about?
There's no
I'm
love
talking
at all.
about hot
Island.
late 20-somethings or early 30s besides Terrance who are in a house.
I mean, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I mean, because the gameplay, like, it's not nothing. I mean, yeah, there's gameplay happening, but it's like, it's nothing like, it's too messy. Like, and it's nothing solid. I mean, I'm glad about that, but it's like, it's no season 10 by any means, but.
Oh, no, you'll never get that again. Come on. And even sometimes I feel like if season 10 was on now, nobody would appreciate it. That may be my hot take. If season 10 was on right now, I don't think people would enjoy it.
There's a lot of past
it's no
that I don't
BB
think
can.
people would enjoy.
It's no BB can season 10.
Okay, that's the truth. Almost fun. That's right. Almost fun, Brett. Almost fun.
At times I do enjoy, I did enjoy Joseph comforting Britney in the storage room when she was freaking out. That was fun to me. Not almost fun. That was fun to me because Britney is just out of nowhere crying. And Joseph is just like, hey, you were strong. Don't do that. You're okay. You know what happens when you don't be defeated about anything. It was just like out of nowhere.
I feel like he was so out of his element though. Like I felt like he was like it was like the awkward pat, like I don't know what to do. Is like at a girl, you know. Like,
that made it so much better. Joseph, I don't think belongs in this game still, but maybe he'll get there. I don't know. He very much seems like the person who just wants to get along with everyone and doesn't really want to play the game too hard, which I don't know. If I'm okay with Indy being there right now, I guess I can also be okay with Joseph being there right now, who's also not really doing anything. But he's nice.
I mean, he is a nice person. He is a nice person. He had some good conversation with Monty this morning. It's just that I don't care for Monty, and I don't know. Listen, the feeds are they're so difficult to watch right now. And I know that I have talked, well, not just talked, I've ranted a lot about Paloma tonight. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter what camera I choose. She is on there and she is talking and I can't get away from her. And then when I'm like, yesterday I was like, I cannot watch any more of this. It was when she was cuckoo in the HOH, and I flipped it over into the living room. Well, they were just talking about like the Slutty Vegan and King of Pop and a bunch of other restaurants and stuff, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm hefty. So I was like, let me take some notes on these restaurants because this sounds good and that. But then I was like, okay, this is boring. I've got to go back. And so there I am watching her again. That's why I've bitched about her all night, is because that's mostly what the feeds have been. So, whatever.
You said it. I don't know if we actually said anything nice about the season, to be completely honest, but we tried. We really did try.
Taylor was a bright shining light.
You did the best out of all of us by far.
No, I actually kind of liked what you said. That at least, so it's not like a praise. It's a could be worse, but I feel like yours is pretty accurate. Like, at least we don't have an enormous alliance yet. We've had some tries at alliances, but none of them have. I mean, stay sticks. Like, there's not real cohesiveness to them. So, I'll take it.
All right, let's see if we can breeze through these last few things on the wheel. All right, backstage pass. We've talked about it a lot already.
We don't know.
We have no clue, but we know that there is potential for those three people in the back that are backstage. I don't know how to refer to them. The three backstage people, Alyssa, Paloma, and Britney. There is potential for them to go home tomorrow night, but one of them is going to be saved. That thing we know for certain. How all of that plays out, that is left for everyone to guess and everyone to theorize in the house. I can only imagine what they're thinking, because they don't even know that someone's going to be saved by America tomorrow. So their theories are even more insane. But yeah, looking forward to it. But again, we don't know. All we do know, and I know Nick talked about it earlier, the eviction interviews for the evicted house guests, like the news interviews, like with Sharon Tharp and with Mike Bloom, aren't until Tuesday, which is interesting.
Right. Okay, but I read where somebody said any time that they've had any sort of controversy on the show, that they have delayed them in order to kind of like debrief and that sort of thing. Like, listen, there's some bad stuff going on out there. I don't know if that's true or not, and I'm entirely too lazy to look it up. And so, but I did read that, and I was like, I wonder if there's any legitimacy to that. Like, I tried to think back, and it just really hurt my brain way too much, and so I quit doing that immediately. But I was like, is that true? Like, is that why, or is it twist related? Either way, it's interesting.
Yeah, especially if they plan for Taylor to go, I could kind of see how they might want to do that, just to be like, hey, this is what has been happening, especially when all the articles are about her, just giving her time and stuff. Like, that would kind of make sense. But again, I also haven't done the research to know if that has been the case in the past with anybody. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Backstage pass.
I was reading something in the chat that Eric was saying. Yes. Okay. I'm ready. Wheel.
Yeah. All right.
Drums. Okay.
Cool. What's everyone else up to?
Nothing. We don't know, because the camera's always on Paloma. It's always on Paloma, so we don't know.
Okay, well, that's not the answer we're going to give right now. But we need to. So the people we haven't really talked about yet in this podcast, Nicole is one of them. We've only brought her up in terms of relation to the Taylor situation, and how she was really the only one in tonight's episode, and really in the house, that ever said anything other than, I don't know if all of this is true, to Daniel specifically. We've heard other kind of murmurs of like, Taylor's never done anything to me. But Nicole was really the one that said that to Daniel. Like, I don't know if really this is true at all. Other than that, Nicole, what's going on with Nicole? The only other thing I can really say notable about Nicole is that
I was really mad at her like 2 or 3 days ago.
Well, why?
Because so the night, let's see, we last podcasted on Saturday, so maybe Sunday-ish. I was real mad at her because she had gotten up early. Terrance and Monty were outside at the pool table, and Nicole was out there, and they were, of course, like bitching about Taylor and just basically regurgitating the lies that Paloma and her cronies have started, right? As if it's fact. They're out there talking about it, and I was mad at all three of them because stop, think, use your brain. It's called critical thinking, but specifically because Taylor was like, well, I mean, Paloma, I just feel like we should be really protective of her because she's just young and 22. Being young and 22 is no excuse for that behavior, and you shouldn't automatically protect. And even if you believe her lies, you still should be able to hear the comments like, oh, she's gonna blow up, or oh, she's so aggressive, or like, is she aggressive? Is she playing too hard, or is she not talking to you enough? Like, these are contradictory things, but she was just going off, not really going off, like it's not like she was out there yelling, but the things that she was saying where she was just completely dismissing that maybe Taylor is a nice person who, like, you've seen her in the house, you know she's none of those things, but you're out here just perpetuating the lies that Paloma has told. And over and over and over again, she's like, I just feel really protective of her, and I just feel like that she shouldn't be treated that way. Talking about Paloma, and I hated it, and it made me absolutely furious with Nicole over that, because Taylor needs to be protected in this situation. And it's not even like, oh, I love Taylor and everybody else is trash. I mean, true. That is actually what it is. But I don't think they're trash because I like Taylor. I think the behavior has been really trash because it is trash. I don't know. It just made me mad because I felt like that it just automatically believed something that she shouldn't. So I was mad at her. Less so now, because I do feel like a lot of people are kind of questioning it now. Like, well, maybe Taylor didn't say those things after seeing Cuckoo Paloma pants all week. But whatever day that happened, she was out there. And Terrance and Monty, too. I just was like, she's so stupid. I kept turning the feeds off and then turning them back on because I would get mad and just turn them off. Like, I'm never watching this show again. And then be like, okay, I'm going to check and see what's happening right now.
Okay, one more time. All right, good summary on Nicole, honestly. You're upset with Nicole. Other than that, Nicole's got a final two with Daniel. We'll see if that works out. Also, a couple of other people are seeing her more as a social threat, which is fine. But I think Nicole is fine for now. She doesn't even seem like she could be a target in the next week or so. So I don't think there's any point. Fine. Yeah. Kyle. Only time we really talked about Kyle was him hosting the Veto comp. Kyle has been more of a pleasant surprise to me. I don't know how he's been to both of you. I've enjoyed his conversations with Michael the last couple of days. They've had some good combos.
I wouldn't call him pleasant, but yeah.
Pleasant compared to how we thought he was going to be. Yeah, especially compared to most people.
I mean, on a sliding scale, I guess he would lean more that way, but listen.
Mm-hmm. And so Kyle, the only other thing I can really say is really recently. His talks with Michael have been interesting. Just talking about Paloma, just them talking about the game itself. He was talking about just how he didn't really know anything coming to this game, his insecurities about that, how he just really quickly tried to catch up, just his worries overall. He just showed a more vulnerable side to him, and it wasn't a conversation where he was just hyping everyone up for a minute.
Yeah, he's had those a few times where he's talked about his very strict upbringing and things that were acceptable and not acceptable in the environment that he grew up in, and how he was wanting to kind of just the experience of how I don't know if he was excommunicated, like, is that the word, from his church or whatever, but he talked a little bit about how when you're in the Mormon religion, you have to go out on the 2-year thing whenever you're a certain age. I think like when you turn 18 or graduate high school, whatever, the boys go out on the 2-year thing where they go and knock on the people's doors and talk to them, and they have to wear their white shirts, and you've seen them on their bikes. And they do that. But he was told that he couldn't go because one of the elders in his church said that he had some inappropriate behavior with his then girlfriend. And Kyle said, they hadn't done really anything, like maybe kissing or whatever, so he talked about that and then not being able, he wasn't allowed to go like on the trip to represent the church. I don't know a whole lot about that religion other than, just the basics. I know that much. And so he did talk about that and how upsetting it was and how he had been sheltered from so much his whole life, and that he has, a willingness to try to learn a lot of things or unlearn a lot of things. And so I did like that, but I'm such a pessimist that I'm this way with a lot of things in life and a lot of people in life, where I'm always waiting, like, yeah, you said the right words, but the other shoe is going to fall at some point. I don't trust you. Like, I don't know if you're being genuine or not. Like, I always have that in the back of my head. So I'm just like, you're saying the right things, but I've also seen you say and heard you say things that are not the right things. So I'm trying to I don't want to buy into everything. Not that I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying I hope that that's true, because here's the deal. As mad as they all make me, and they all make me furious, I think we've established that. I do believe that people are capable of change if they want to. So I hope that that's true. And I think that's some of the conversation that you've seen from him as well, that you're talking about. So, Okay, I'll go a little more on the scale towards pleasant there.
Just in time for him to do something terrible in the next couple of days.
I know, and I'm going to turn the feeds on, and I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be mad at you for making me question myself. Barrett.
It would only be right. Everything that we say automatically becomes just not relevant anymore immediately after we're done with the show. Turner, the other side of Pooch, in a way. Wait, is Hooch?
Oh my heck!
Is Hooch? Hooch is the dog, right?
Yeah.
Really? No, Hooch is Tom Hanks. Wait, who's Turner and
No.
who's Hooch?
I think Turner's the dog.
No,
I can't remember.
It's
been so long since I've seen it.
I'm hearing Hooch is the dog from Joseph, but is that right? Tom Hanks? That makes more sense, I guess, just by name association. So I'm going to say Turner. Well, never mind. It doesn't make any sense anymore. I was going to say it's only fitting that Turner is the lapdog to Pooch, but that doesn't really make any sense, does it? Turner's there as well. He talked with Jasmine a lot the other day, which him and Jasmine talking really isn't a lot of substance to me, I don't think. In that conversation,
yes.
Yeah, and a lot of that that conversation didn't have any substance anyway. It was just nice to see Turner in a conversation. He also talked to Joseph a little bit, just being a little bit worried about Paloma, aren't we all at this point?
No.
Yeah. For it. The only other notable thing about Turner is that he was he was really, oh God, he was really like the spokesperson for the guys when he went up to Daniel to talk about Taylor going up on the block. So of course that's not a very good thing to associate with Turner at the moment, but he hasn't done too much to really talk about. He hasn't been terrible compared to how we thought he might be on the feeds coming into it. But he's certainly not doing a whole lot. If he didn't associate with Pooch so much, I think he would be in a much better position right now. What? Oh, yes, I should say, as of right now, as we are live right now, the feeds did go to animals. So something's going on. I don't know what it is, though.
He's saying, allegedly, Joseph in chat says, sounds like there's a possibility that Paloma could quit. Producers are allegedly giving her the choice to quit.
Giving
What
her
is
the
it- what is
choice,
alleged-
making her quit.
What does allegedly mean? Like you just heard from 2 people on Twitter, or do you have a number that you call, Joseph? I want to know your sources. Is really what I'm asking. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just want to know more information.
Right. Natalie says the feeds are down right now, and people on Twitter think Paloma is out of here. I will say that she spent hours in the DR yesterday, and she's been largely not present today. I mean, up until today, she's been constantly on the feeds, but she has been kind of MIA a lot today. Of course, I've also, but yeah. Oh, the house guest. Joseph says the house guests were saying it. I guess before the feeds went down, we're wondering.
Interesting.
Like,
I did see something about, and I didn't see this on the feeds. I did see someone talking about that producers said something to her about quitting, but I didn't know if that was just someone saying things, as we were talking about with just incorrect updates. So I didn't really want to say anything about that because I didn't see it either. Anyone talk about that? But yeah, I don't know if should we theorize about this a lot, because I don't want to theorize about this for 10 minutes and then it just nothing happened with it.
I'd like to theorize for a second because we have some questions. Like if she, so Scoot says, if she quits, does that nullify the eviction?
I think it would.
I don't think that it will.
Well, that would throw off the days, though.
It will, but I think maybe they might rectify it later as opposed to right now. I'm trying to think back to what they did when Shima left in 11.
They gave America the vote.
Okay, I'm not talking about the end game. I'm talking about for that week. But thank you, Zach, for that.
I'm trying to remember too, because it was weird. Because I don't even remember what day Shima quit.
It would mess up everything.
Well, how about this? Whenever Evil Dick quit, they just put in a battle back.
That is true. In chat, they're saying it would mess up backstage. It would mess up a lot of things, as like for the twist. I'm not sure how that they would do that, but because we don't know how the backstage twist even freaking works.
Well, was Shima expelled like right before her eviction? Because she was practicing for what, the HOH competition? That was the golf thing? Or it was Veto. Okay, so it was a lot before the actual eviction. So
actually, I don't even remember. Look, I don't know. That was season 11. Jeez.
Just a little bit
Okay,
ago.
so chat says when Shima was disqualified in 11, that was before the Veto Okay, so it was before Veto. And that scratched her week and started all over again. That was on a Saturday, though. This is a Wednesday, so I could see them nullifying the week. That's an excellent point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if we've had not expulsion. Well, I guess someone leaving the show the day before an eviction.
It's weird how was it Joseph that said it? Giving her the choice to quit.
I don't know.
Right, like it's kind of like you can resign if you want to, and you can get a severance package like at your job or something, because they don't want to necessarily fire you, but if you don't leave, you're getting fired.
I'm wondering if what we're seeing now is maybe what they did with Paloma was they gave her a warning or something like that with the whole Taylor stuff. And whenever she got that, that's what sort of set her off in her, because this wasn't the way she's been acting these past few days. It really hasn't. It felt like it was just, oh, that's Paloma. This is Paloma. And then there was a certain dip. Like, whenever that whole...
It did feel very sudden. I know what you're saying. Like, it was like a switch.
And what I'm wondering is, what if what the producers told her made her think?
I want that kitty. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
It
distracted
either
you.
made her think. She either had like a snap, or maybe she's thinking, well, maybe if I just act crazy now.
I know that's been
I don't know.
speculated, but I don't think that any. This is I tell people this a lot. When people act certain ways, look, nobody's that good of an actor, right? Just let them. If people want to do whatever, let them, because nobody's that good of an actor. And at some point, you're going to see the truth. The veil will be lifted. I feel like that. Like, people are like, well, she's probably acting. And I'm like, nobody's that good of an actor. There's not.
No, with her consistency and how much she was talking about that last night, and even things that didn't have to do with the metaverse, the way that she would chime into conversations just wasn't right. Like, everyone in the house was seeing it too. It was just, you can't keep up that kind of act for that long. So I would lean more on the side of that it's something a little bit more serious than that.
Do you think that, and I have no reason at all to say this other than I'm just wondering, do you think that maybe her family might have seen the behavior on the feeds and has contacted them and has been like, she needs medical intervention? Or like, she's clearly like, this is not right. Or like, we've got to do something. And they called her in to give her the choice. Like,
that's
could it
always,
be that?
that's always a possibility. And I would hope that might be what happened. Actually, I would hope that the producers would see it before anyone else. I hope they would catch it before anything. But
I know last year people were making a big deal about how much meds Britney was having or had in that bag. I don't know if y'all remember that, but Britney, sorry.
I totally forgot about TikTok Britney. Yes.
Are all Houseguests meds like that? Like, they have big bags, like, or like, you know, where they take it, or do they have to go back to, I don't know, production and like, here's your meds?
I'm sure it depends on what it is.
No, you have to go. I mean, no, I don't think it's like, I do know what you're talking about, because that was a really weird thing, because even when they want Tylenol or they're like acetaminophen, we're not sponsored by Tylenol. They have to go to the DR and request it. Like, that's not something that you can just have. So I would suspect that you cannot just have your medications, especially anything that is prescribed like that. Like, for instance, I take ADHD medicine. I don't think I would be allowed to have that just in my bag in the house. Like, they get called in there to take their medications, and I guess it's whatever you have prescribed and why. I'm not really sure how all of that works.
I'm just wondering, just because not saying that she's on any medications, I'm not assuming that or anything, but I know the way that sometimes some people are, they don't want to take their medications because it makes them feel some type of way. And I don't know. So it's big speculation on my part. That's just assuming.
It is. Yeah, it is. And again, we have no idea why the feeds just went to animals. It could be something to do with Paloma. I would lean towards that possibility just because we haven't seen Paloma. I keep seeing that people haven't seen Paloma on the feed since about 1:30 today. So
yeah, she's been MIA, but I thought I've been in and out. As you may or may not have heard, I've been in the hospital twice this week. And so I didn't really.
That's why Roxy isn't on the feeds right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't really look a whole lot, but I just assumed oh, maybe she's finally asleep or whatever. But it has been a while. But what if it has nothing to do with Paloma at all? The feeds being down. What if it does have to do with the backstage twists and stuff, and the feeds are going to be down from now until the show starts tomorrow? Usually they give us a warning about that, but Big Brother hadn't done anything that they're supposed to do this season, including give us the cast at a reasonable time frame. or even advertising for the show at all, right? So like maybe they just neglected to tell us, and the feeds are down because they're gonna start all of the crap. I don't really think that, but I'm just saying. I do think it is Paloma related, but I'm just saying. I just want to throw it out there. Benefit of the doubt, maybe.
That's fine. Yeah. And that's probably the only other possibility we can have this right now. Unless Skippy just got really, really into it tonight.
Did y'all see Janelle's?
Yes, Zodiac. I had Zodiac asked if I had salmonella in my finger, and that was funny. No, I did not see it. What? Oh, about the medicine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. I did.
Well, this just took a turn as we are 2.5 hours in to our show.
Mm-hmm.
A turn that I didn't expect, but also kind of expected.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like that. That's not funny.
Chat said Paloma has exited and Paul has entered, and I just
I knew there was something photoshopped in that cast photo.
So
yeah, I knew I saw a beard sticking out of there.
So yeah, Janelle was saying how her drugs weren't approved.
Right, that's what I was saying. I think maybe it might depend on what you're prescribed and why you've been prescribed it, because you do have to. It's not readily apparent by some of the behavior that we're seeing in the house, but you do have to pass a psych eval, and there are some medications that maybe it's like I don't know that that I could get approved to. I would never, but to be approved to be in the house, because I have medications that maybe they might not think that I need. Which, I mean, that's between my doctor and me, okay?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, Mike Boogie passed a psych evaluation. I don't
put a lot of stock in that.
Yeah, looking back, I don't think it's that hard to fake through a psych evaluation.
I mean, yeah. We've had recovering drug addicts in the house before. Not that long ago either. So
quote unquote.
A lot of issues.
Yeah.
But that was one of them. So I don't think it's that hard to pass something like that to get into the Big Brother house.
Were the feeds up whenever Dick I don't know if he quit. I mean, I guess he walked.
You're asking me a question from 10 years ago, Zach.
Oh, from season 13? Yeah. No, we still had the feeds. He was called to the DR, and then he did not come back, and then people were, kind of worried about it. And eventually, I mean, it was hours later, they called Danielle in, and then Danielle came out and read, whatever the little card was that production had given her to read to announce that he was indeed gone. But they did not know why. It just said that there was a family emergency, which then, Danielle's like, I'm family. Like, what? So I don't know what they may or may not have shared with her in the DR, but I don't think they shared.
Well, then Dick did have that video message too. I remember the video message where he's just like, I'm fine. My girlfriend's fine. So they had that. I guess that was it though.
I was very confused. I mean, yeah, but
as in 19, Megan left, but the feeds had not started yet. That's also true.
But they still evicted someone first.
Yeah.
But then again, I think they had quite a bit. How big was that cast? Like 18 people or something?
Was it 18? I don't remember. I don't like to think about that season. It felt like 30,000 people that were yelling at Cody and Jessica on the hammock that night. The most infamous feeds night I've ever seen.
That's because
And Thomas in chat says, hear me out. What if it's COVID related?
They have been coughing in that house. They have been doing that.
Complaining of sore throats.
Have you seen
You're
that?
exactly right, chat.
Have you seen that the COVID numbers are going here in Arkansas? At my work,
no
I'm
way.
Not saying I have it, but 4 people have been sent home because they got tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
are completely excluding another complete possibility, which is COVID, a thing that ended
Well,
a
don't they
season
do
of
the
Big Brother one time.
testing? Don't they do the weekly testing on Tuesdays?
I don't think they do that anymore. Would they do that anymore?
They did last year. They did it on Tuesdays. I would assume they would. Well, I don't remember.
I think they still do it.
Have they been doing that on Tuesdays? I would think so. I don't know why they would take away that
This was
system.
our first Tuesday, so I don't know. I don't know. Like I keep forgetting. Like we're on day we're still in single digits.
What if they
I can't even believe that.
What if they do what the challenge does? Is they'll play out through the whole week until at the very end, someone's like, "You've so and so, you've been evicted to Big Brother," and then as soon as the person's gonna walk out, Julie hops on and says, "Wait a minute, wait a minute."
You got to open the door and it's locked.
Yeah, and then Houseguest, everyone have a seat. Unfortunately, due to Paloma's walk from the house, we will not have another Houseguest evicted this week. But
I mean, they could do that.
Just know the backstage pass is still going to be active for next week. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the big question. Like, is the backstage pass gonna be our new Sunday night competition? I would assume it is somehow. And how is that going to integrate into everything? Because I don't know. Especially if there's not an eviction this week, we still don't know the powers that behold of the backstage.
I would
boss
want them
baby power.
Yeah, I would want them to go through it.
If there's some sort of a battle, but whether it's between 2 and 2 or 1 and 1 or however that works to get a third nominee, whatever, that's still going to be done on eviction night. But I think if we continue, we'll see on the Sunday episodes them choosing, or however they're going to do it, whoever's the new backstage boss and that person choosing the people and all of that. I think we'll see that on the Sunday episode. So I don't know how we're going to get the backstage boss, but I'm assuming it will be done maybe by a competition or maybe whoever was safe. I don't know. We'll see.
Or what if they bring back the BB rewind button? And it's like, would you like to replay this whole week? And then someone pushes
No.
Is that what they called it in 16? The rewind button?
The reset button.
That was in 14. Did they
16.
have 2 resets buttons?
It was rewind. Nope, glitch. I'm in the Matrix.
The BB rewind.
All of these twists just like mix in my head at a certain point. Like whether it's Hacker, Den of Temptation, the App Store. I don't know which seasons those were in. I'm telling you right now, I can't figure it out. No, Hacker was 20. Den of Temptation was 19. App Store, was that 18?
App Store was 20.
What? I thought the Hacker comp was 20.
The App Store was at the beginning, and then the Hacker comp was after.
So they were both in 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like the show. I watch the show, everyone, I promise. But
18.
when they do the same thing every single year, it just, I'm going to be honest with you. It all goes together.
18 was activity. 17 was BB Takeover and Battle the Block. 16 was...
No, 21 was Whacktivity. 18 was Roadkill.
Yeah. Sorry, Roadkill. Sorry. 18 was Roadkill. Sorry.
You watch 18 every day, Zach. Come on.
Anyway.
Gross.
Roadkill and the BB Care Package. And then...
I hated that.
16 was the BB Rewinds because 14 was a BB Reset. Yeah.
Correct.
Sure.
And then 15 was the MVP.
Yeah, and then the Care Package was also 18. That was their jury one, where everyone sent Nicole a care package. I was so angry. Or was it Corey? Either they were the same thing that season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Corey didn't get a care package, I don't think.
It must have been Nicole then. I remember I was so mad.
Safety.
Nicole getting a care package.
What if there's so someone in chat has asked a question. What if there are multiple people who have tested positive for COVID? Will they cancel?
I'm trying not to think about that, Roxy.
If multiple people got it, they would cancel the whole season, no doubt.
It'd probably be over, yeah.
And then they would call me.
Yeah, moving the interview fits with the COVID narrative if they wouldn't cancel it because they'd have to quarantine everyone in the house, so they couldn't talk to Julie. I mean, I have no idea why the feeds are down, but I can tell you this. It is not normal for the feeds to go down on a Wednesday night unless they like
At 9
if they're
o'clock
going
at
to
night.
pre-tape, yeah, if they're going to pre-tape an eviction, they'll take them down and it won't be back on until the show airs. They have done that, but we usually know that is going to happen. And we had zero warning. The feeds are just like on Anapals or whatever it is that can go across.
Yeah,
Cats.
Julie
Little
said.
baby kitties.
Julie said live eviction.
Yeah.
I just think I think the thing we could probably guess on is just the fact that Paloma has not been on the feeds for a good 8 hours now, and then the feeds went to Kittens. So I think the only thing we can guess right now is that it is something to do with Paloma. I wouldn't guess anything bigger than that right now. My question to you both is that how long do you want to sit here talking about this, or do we want to wrap this up and then just, I don't know, hope for the best?
Didn't we have one more spot on the wheel?
We did, but I don't even want to get to it at this point.
What is it?
It's the alliance chart.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Wait, what
lone
would the
thing.
alliances look like if Paloma's gone, though? Paloma's in a lot of alliances.
It would eradicate all of them. It would reset everything.
I would love a reset button.
God,
I
as the
wish that was
17th
America's
house guest,
vote.
would go in there and cast a flood that would reset the entire season. And that's it. And Julie would be okay with that.
I mean, yeah. I do want to mention that something all over Twitter today is that Julie apparently has pushed for or pitched the idea of a winter edition of Big Brother that is 3 weeks long with all winners. I don't know how I feel about that because there is no way to have the 50%, diversity.
Yeah. No,
Well,
you
no.
can't.
And
Wait,
they're mostly white males that have won.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Where are you going with this?
Are you going to include celebrity?
No, I'm going to say, what about a winners versus America's favorite players?
You're talking about Hannah Chada's tweet that she had with her list?
Yeah.
I thought her list was terrible. I'm sorry.
June, Janelle, Jeff Schroeder, Brittany H, Rachel, Andy, Alyssa, Derek, James, Victor, Josh,
James Ron?
James Hewling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Josh, Casey, Cody, Davon, Xavier, and Tiffany.
Oh.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. You
No.
can't force me to watch.
Not on board.
You can't
I
have
am
you
not
watch.
on board with that list.
I'm
The
not
good
watching.
people overpower the others.
Do they?
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I'm not opposed to a winter edition of some sort that's a shortened version and having people. It's just like people who have played before, whether it's winners or first boots or memorables, whatever. I mean, whatever theme you want to give it. I'm not necessarily opposed to that. What I'm opposed to is giving the choice to the producers because their favorites are not America's favorites. They will choose people that I don't really ever want to see again. I mean, Julie thinks Paul should get another chance.
Yeah, well,
He's had two, and one of them, the win was basically gift wrapped and on a platter, and had like gold foil flakes all over it. It was beautiful, and he still couldn't do it. Although, if he does come back, I hope to God that he brings that same freaking outfit to wear on finale night, and that he loses for a third time.
Yeah, if you told me that he was going to lose again, a third time, second place, same scenario by one vote, I'd probably watch that. I'd watch the entire season. Because I would know it would be
I'd watch the
worth it.
finale for sure.
Yeah.
I'd watch that for sure. Yeah, exactly. Somebody in chat, actual legends like Daniel Reyes. Yes.
Sorry, she didn't win, and she wasn't America's favorite player. That was just the list.
She's my favorite player, and that's all that matters. Don't you ever put disrespect
Don't make her come
in
down
the same
there.
sentence with her. Never.
I'm just saying, like,
Never.
I'm still for Daniel Reyes, but I'm just saying that was the list that Hannah Chana made, not me.
Don't you? Okay, well, better dry that up right now.
That's a phrase.
No. That's what my grandpa used to say. My great.
I think there should be an exes/couples.
Exes. Wow. No way.
Think about
Are we
it.
are we just combining 2 seasons at that point?
Macranda.
Oh my god.
I actually think that would be funny.
James and Natalie. Ooh.
Just a season of all the failed showmances.
Corey and Nicole.
Oh god. And Victor.
Yes. And then
Bring all the 18 people back.
Well, and Hayden Voss. if
everyone's
you're gonna-
favorite, Nick and Jenna Marie.
Oh. I was thinking Nick Starcevic and Danielle at first. I was like, wait, what?
I was thinking
And then
of
I remembered.
Nick Macarone and Bella. Were they a showmance? I can't really remember.
Yeah, they were.
Ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, that'd be a nightmare.
Kat
I
and Nick.
hate all of the things that you're saying, by the way. I don't like any of it. It's horrible.
Janelle and Will.
Okay.
Okay.
They were a flirt, man. It's not technically a showmance.
I mean, if you make out, I mean, did they make out? I think they did.
No. Well,
Amber and Britney and
I was about to say, you better not put Amber back in a house with Beast Mode Cowboy.
Did Amber flirt with?
No, that wasn't even a showmance. That was a one-sided creep fest.
You know, CBS would do it again.
Amber would just leave. She didn't need to be there for that. Frankie and
okay,
Zach.
I don't like. Why? No, I hate all the things that you're saying. I hate it all. It's horrible.
What about the Zanke toss out from Thomas?
Oh yeah, I forgot. And yeah,
Well,
they're both. Zach came out as
I'll
bi
take one
too,
half
so.
of that duo. I will take one half of that duo, and I'll give you a hint. Frankie is not the half that I want. Zach, fine.
Zach and Victoria.
Oh.
I mean, I do think that would be funny.
Ooh, Holly and Mickey. Ooh.
Okay,
See,
can we
no,
stop?
I'm done. I'm gonna vomit. Don't. I want to talk about whether or not we want to try them. I don't think that we should wait for the feeds to come back. I know good and well, as soon as we turn this freaking off, it's gonna come on.
know, yeah.
I'm gonna be furious, but I know if I
think
sit
they're
here
gonna leave
and
it
try
off till is the eviction tomorrow?
suppose the alleged eviction, yeah.
I would think they would leave it off till tomorrow.
If she's gone,
They would leave it off, yeah.
then I think they'll leave it off.
All right. Well, if we'll just go ahead and bank on that. All right. Anything else we want to add before we islands in the stream?
Yes, I apologize for ranting so much and calling some people some names. I do feel very strongly about it, but I apologize for being a little aggressive in my delivery at my disappointment.
A little.
Yeah, a lot. I just feel very strongly about it, and I'm just not happy with things. But I'm sorry, I was a little over the top. Okay, I'm done.
We forgive you, Roxy, or I do at least. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Barry, you don't speak for everybody. You're not.
I don't.
Monty.
I corrected myself.
I'm just playing.
Barrett speaks for every white, tall male.
Don't say that.
The underprivileged.
I didn't like that.
Listen, it's not that Roxy's the wall yeller. It's not that I don't really and truly believe some of the things that I've said. It's just maybe I was a little aggressive.
It's okay, Roxy. We're on your side here.
I mean, yeah, I know it is. I'm just playing. All right, I'm done.
All right. Well, we didn't get to the alliance chart, but just know nobody likes anyone. We got Bleep. It's Mamba. Still pretty much the same members. Motley Crue is now Inception, which will then be something else because they can't pick a name that doesn't have a copyright to it. Oasis is still a thing. These are all groups we talked about before that are still pretty kind of intact. As of next week, I don't imagine. So Girls in shambles as we speak.
6 in the City.
Yeah, they are now 6 in the City, which I think is a much better name. Nick, the Nick City is behind 6 in the City as well. But that's the same as Girls. So nothing crazy to really expand upon because we've got Rugrats as well. And then we would probably spend 30 minutes pretending like we know all of these final 2 deals, even though they're not real and they'll never be real. And we've actually made it to the chorus, which I don't feel like we usually do. But thanks, everyone, for watching this 2-hour and 50-minute podcast. We'll see what happens when the feeds come back on. I hope everyone has a great night. If you've decided to watch the feeds all night, I commend you for that. So we'll see what happens. The live eviction, we'll see, is tomorrow night, or it's supposed to be, allegedly, as well as Backstage Pass stuff. But who knows what that show is going to be like if the things are happening on the feeds right now that are not so good. Yeah, Roxy, Zach, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. You can follow Roxy and Zach on Twitter. Roxy is at Roxy_Hotman. Zach is at the Zach Perez. I am at Spicy Barrett. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all of this stuff. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts if you don't want to watch us for 2 hours and 50 minutes. If you'd rather just skip ahead and only listen to our voices, you have that option as well. But we'll be back on Saturday to go over an HOH, eviction, walk. I don't know what we're doing here. We'll have to talk about whatever we're talking about on Saturday. Yeah, and we'll catch up on everything. See you then, everyone.
Bye.
Love everyone.
God is the 17th Houseguest.